4 minutes, 4 minutes. You can't hear me, I mean your ears dirty. It ain't mute. Y'all just can't hear y'all phone. Y'all still can't hear me? Hey, I got a question to ask y'all, man. Ugh. Face ass. Y'all remember Kanye, goddamn it, went on that rant and he was talking about Meek Mills and Puff Daddy being fake thugs? Mm. It's all starting to make sense, huh? He said he said Diddy and Meek Mills was fake thugs. Let me see what I gotta do for you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers acting like you don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about, when I'm talking about it, and how I'm talking about it. So I gotta show y'all stinking there. I gotta show y'all stinking ass. How the fuck I keep doing that? Yeah. Now let's watch. Let's get to it. No, that's too much. How the fuck I put all that in there though? I don't know. But let's get to it, man. See if y'all can remember like I remember.
To me, and by the way, y'all done already fucked with me so much. Y'all already black mirrored me. You already made everybody think I'm crazy. You already took my family away. You already separated all my friends. I don't got no celebrity friends. Because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child, none of these niggas that want to say something
Travis
now.
gave you the address, though?
Travis gave me the address.
Okay.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck who, because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got talks because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a doing and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my co-car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck up about Michael.
Right.
Poison me. And by the way, y'all done already fuck with me so much. Y'all already black mirrored me. You already made everybody think I'm crazy.
What he said, they poisoned.
You already separated all my friends.
Y'all gotta listen, man. I'm gonna play this shit. Let y'all listen, man.
Poison me, and by the way,
they poison
me, and by the way, y'all done already fuck with me so much. Y'all already black mirrored me. You already made everybody think I'm crazy. You already took my family away. You already separated all my friends. I don't got no celebrity friends. Because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child, none of these niggas that want to say something
Travis
now.
gave you the address, though?
Travis gave me the address.
Okay.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck who, because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got talks because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a doing and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my co-car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck
Oh, man.
You would have to poison me. And by the way, y'all done already fuck with me so much. Y'all already black mirrored me. You already made everybody think I'm crazy. You already took my family away. You already separated all my friends. I don't got no celebrity friends. Because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my dog.
What do you think about that?
On the line. I happen to think there's a mafia in hip hop, right? Not rappers. You know, the editorial presidents of magazines, the PDs at radio stations, the people who give you award at award shows. This is mafia, my man.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They are in power. Puff Daddy is the king of deception. Yeah. Every time we was in the party, he was throwing his champagne, his vodka in every picture.
You know I don't play that.
So we didn't know. We like, yo, he's a great guy. This is a great party. This is a great, give me your clothes.
I'm in the industry. I've been hearing stories since 1990-something. I don't talk about that shit. My personal opinion is, if you talk about it too much, something bad will happen to you. There's something in the air, man.
Fat Joe once boldly declared that the hip-hop world is basically owned and operated by what some folks call the Mafia. And given all the recent uproar surrounding Diddy and his inner circle, people are now starting to wonder if Fat Joe might have been onto something. So Diddy is currently facing his 5th lawsuit, with accusations flying left and right about some seriously shady dealings. But there are now also whispers circulating that Diddy has been allegedly running some sort of
CJ, stop, man.
ages. Word
Stop.
on the street is that he would lure unsuspecting artists and producers into compromising situations, secretly film everything, and then use that footage to keep them firmly under his thumb. But that's not all. Some folks are now also saying that Diddy might just be a pawn in all of this. Allegedly, he's just carrying out the orders of his higher-ups, who are rumored to be the bigwigs of this so-called mafia. It's like a plot straight out of a Hollywood thriller, and a lot of people are dismissing this whole mafia thing as a conspiracy theory, and some are even saying it's offensive to suggest that people operate like a mafia. However, we all know truth can be stranger than fiction sometimes, especially when it comes to Hollywood and the entertainment business. So is there any evidence for Fat Joe's claims about the rumored mafia running hip-hop? And how exactly does this tie in with the Diddy situation? Let's break it down.
And out of the closet,
It's owned. The hip-hop community is most likely owned by gay. To be honest
so
with
do you
you.
think there'll be an
They're owned by gay.
So to give you some context first,
I don't want to
mafia
watch
is a
the
controversial term used to
motherfucking
describe
nobody talking through the shit, nigga. I wanted to watch the You Dig. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all.
What do you think about the Mr. C charge? You pled guilty.
Yo, Vlad, stop. Mr. C's a legend, man. More power to him. I don't know what his situation is. I ain't looking to the case. I'm not copping out either. I ain't looking to none of that. Did that surprise me to the millionth percent when I heard it? But once again, whatever his preference is, it's up to him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't here to tell nobody what they do or whatever they get, what's right or what's wrong.
We asked, I remember I interviewed Mano, and I asked him if he would ever do a song with a gay rapper. And what he said was, he's pretty sure that he already has. Do you think that
I'm pretty sure I've done.
You think you've done songs with gay rappers?
Yeah, I think I've done songs with gay rappers.
You're pretty sure of that.
I'm pretty sure of that.
You don't have to name names. But
I'm pretty sure the football niggas is gay.
Give me
the
that.
basketball niggas is gay. There's millions of gay people in the world.
See?
Yeah, girls too. Like they just for some reason. Once again, I'm not a fan of that shit either. I'm a fan of I'm gay. The fuck? Like 2011, you gotta hide that you're gay.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm
broke
saying?
this
Like,
shit.
be real. Like, I'm gay. What the fuck? If you gay, you gay. Like, that's your preference. You know, fuck it if the people don't like it.
Go get the
It
case.
feels like hip hop, which is very, very.
Stop crying.
It's the greatest. It's the
I'm
greatest.
tired of
thing
hearing that
in the
word.
world.
Do you think that there'll ever be an out of the closet gay
It's
rapper?
owned. The hip hop community is most likely owned by gay. To be honest with
Do
you.
you think there'll be
They're owned by gay. I happen to think there's a gay mafia in hip hop.
Right.
Not rappers. You know, the editorial presidents of magazines, the PDs at radio stations, the people who give you award at award shows. This is the fucking gay mafia, my man.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They are in power. So why wouldn't a guy come out and say, yo, I'm gay, and get that type of love? I mean, Lady Gaga, I don't know if she's gay, but she running with that gay shit for real. And she is winning. Rap music, nah. Everybody got somebody gay in their house, in their family. I'm not saying in their same house, but in their family, somebody got somebody gay. So I think it's 2011 going on 2012. I think if you're gay, rep your set.
Why am I so hungry? Because you're watching football. The whole game is basically an elaborate scheme to make you buy more food.
What are you talking about?
Dude, think about it. Turnovers, pancake blocks. Oh, I just scored. Feed me more.
Yeah, y'all. So there y'all got it right there, man. They been saying that motherfuckers was in the industry under the act. They been saying that shit. Diddy been getting put out here and exposed. Stop. That's enough. Okay, y'all here. Alright, y'all decent. Let me put my little dude. Yeah, so they been saying this shit been going on in the industry, y'all. They been saying this shit. And as y'all can see,
poison me. And by the way, y'all done already fuck with me so much. Y'all already black mirrored me. You already made everybody think I'm crazy. You already took my family away. You already separated all my friends. I don't got no celebrity friends. Because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child, none of these niggas that want to say something
Travis
now.
gave you the address, though?
Travis gave me the address.
Right.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on.
Okay.
All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck who, because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got talks is because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my co-car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck up about Michael.
Right.
y'all see that shit been going on, man. People been saying it and wanting to tell, but they ain't. You did.
Under Kamala Harris's.
A motherfucker don't want to put it all the way out there. Somebody got to be the what they call in the hip hop industry the sacrificial lamb. Somebody got to get sacrificed and put they shit out there. Put they shit out there and be the first motherfucker that lay across the motherfucking the spot. And then that's when a motherfucker has something good going on. Y'all don't be paying attention. But I'm gonna put y'all on game. Something to y'all. Y'all remember they was saying that Shannon Sharp was gay, right? They was saying he missed Netta and all that shit. Whatever the fuck it is, whoever the fuck you want to call it. They was saying he gay. So that was the reason, let me tell y'all, to try to change the narrative. That's why he switched the live that went live when he was having sex. He did that shit to try to control the opinion of motherfuckers, man. And that shit tricked y'all. It didn't trick me. I was 10 times ahead of the motherfucker. I know he got a PR. They got, we got to control this for the politics and all this. And he don't want the narrative. That nigga got out the car. He did get out the car with his arm swinging like a bitch. Switching and shit. Big, swole ass nigga under the motherfucking gay act. But I ain't got nothing against the gays. I can't talk about the gays. I got a gay cousin. So shit, it is what it is. Let's just change the subject, because I know that gets sensitive. That and religion, I do not want to talk about that on my platform. I respect y'all, but I'm telling y'all that nigga undercover or something.
Poison.
I don't want to watch the whole interview. I'm looking for something with
They can rewrite history. Guy Tori did a beautiful special about the
came to LA, and in his first year in LA, he had his own sick.
I don't give a fuck about. Yeah, though, man. That's what I wanted to show y'all about the Diddy, man. Y'all tripping on the likes, man. Can we get 6 more likes, y'all? Man, they just going all into this nigga shit now. This shit getting a little bit.
Yes, it's breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you.
Another strange video of Sean Combs is getting attention, this time involving a young girl. Was it just a silly quarantine video made during the pandemic, or could there be something more sinister going on? We're going to discuss it all with a former prosecutor right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. So we have been trying to do our best to react to everything you're reacting to when it comes to the Sean Diddy Combs saga. There's so much out there. What's true, what's not, what's relevant, what's not. And right now, there is somebody who has been in the spotlight quite a bit. This teenager has been thrust back into the spotlight. This comes after an old video of her and Sean Combs has recently gone viral again. And you may have heard of her, Ava Baroni. She was part of a video and a live stream that was posted to the rapper's Instagram account back in 2020. And now that the 54-year-old is behind bars in New York on federal charges, concerned fans remembered this very odd interaction. So with that, and we're going to go over it, I want to talk about this more with former prosecutor Ava Sullivan.
Man, they going crazy.
I expect that there will be some people named in these lawsuits that will raise some eyebrows.
How big an eyebrow raise are we talking about? I mean, are we talking about names as big as Diddy, potentially?
These are crimes that are so serious that it would likely leave Sean Combs in jail the rest of his life, or nearly for the rest of his life.
I think he has an out option, and that is poking a cyanide pill.
If he wanted to kill himself, he would have been dead already.
But Joe, I mean, you might have said the same thing about Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, you didn't wait for the best part yet. He's going to be indicted for the murder of Tupac and the notorious B.I.G.
The shocking allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce. Well, now Sean Diddy Combs is reportedly putting together an O.J. Simpson-style legal dream team to defend federal charges on sexual assault, sex trafficking, and racketeering. Certainly looks like he's going to need all the legal help he can get. Well, last week, Houston attorney Tony Busby held a bombshell press conference to announce he's representing 120 alleged victims of the rap mogul, during which he gave new and disturbing details.
When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of.
In a moment, my panel will dissect and debate all of the latest developments, shocking developments. But first, I'm joined by attorney Tony Busby, who you just heard speaking there. Mr. Busby, thank you very much indeed for joining me. I want to read you a statement overnight from Janice Smalls Combs, who is Diddy's mother. And it came by her lawyer, Natalie Figures. It says this: I come to you today as a mother that is devastated and profoundly saddened by the allegations made against my son, Sean Combs. It is heartbreaking to see my son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies. To bear witness what seems to be like a public lynching of my son,
Said Mama Duck
before he had the opportunity
suing
to prove his innocence, is a pain too unbearable.
Duck, Dirk, and Von.
First of all, your reaction to that statement.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's exactly what I respect the mother to say. You know, these allegations are shocking.
Turn that down, fam.
These allegations are egregious. And that's why they have court systems, because we will ferret this out in the court system. We intend to prove our cases. Obviously, we're not going to prove our cases at a press conference. And, you know, with all due respect to her, you know, I've talked to these victims, and I believe them. So that's exactly what I would expect his mother to say.
Your hotline took 12,000 calls in 24 hours, including many new allegations involving minors. At the moment, there's no class action. Each case you take will be represented individually, but just the fact you've got 120 already that you're repping, and you're getting so many calls, what does that tell you about the scale of all this?
Well,
were you recently injured in a car accident?
Man,
Look at this check for $160,000.
You know, I know that's
the lawyer finna get paid.
24-hour period. Of course,
the
that's
lawyer
true.
finna get paid, and everybody else.
You know, obviously, that's not 12,000 people claiming
making sure they get paid.
That's, you know, a large portion of those people calling with, you know, words of support. Others were prank calls and crank calls, as you might imagine, in this kind of situation. What's most interesting to me and what's most helpful are people that call that have bits of information, bits of evidence, video, perhaps pictures. And then, of course, we're particularly interested in people that had interaction with Mr. Combs and what they say happened to them and victims. But, you know, I was trying to get my head around the fact that, you know, we're talking about thousands of people calling and hundreds of alleged victims. And how could that possibly be the case? But, you know, when you put that in context and you think about conduct that allegedly occurred over a 25-year period, in multiple different venues, parties every week, sometimes multiple times a week, and the same MO each time has been alleged. Typically, it involves some sort of illicit substance placed in someone's drink, and then that individual is coerced or taken advantage of, and that's kind of the overarching theme here. And so a lot of these calls, you know, on first glance, you say, my goodness, that's just impossible that many people would call with information or who have been victimized. But when you look at it in the context of a long period of time in a particular modus operandi, it makes a lot of sense.
I mean, numbers are staggering. You've also said that there are other big names that will come out in relation to these charges. He says the day will come, you said this, when you start naming names. When will that day be, and how big are these names that we're talking about?
You know, people are very interested in that, of course. That comment has been repeated back to me, as you might imagine, many times. People are, you know, waiting with bated breath, hoping that, you know, I'm going to name these big celebrity names. But I can tell you this, I look at it in this context. If you attended one of these events, and we're talking about, you know, we've heard about the white party and the freak-offs and the after parties, but
none of them
also,
will ever see any money.
Impromptu parties at studios, after parties from concerts, album release parties, hotel parties. I mean, the list goes on and on. But in my view, if you attended those,
they over there with
and
Russell
you
Simmons,
saw or knew that somebody was being given drugs, that their drinks were being drugged, and you sat by and either participated in some of this activity or encouraged this activity or allowed it to go on and helped cover it up, or were in the room while it was happening and said nothing and did not intervene, and perhaps attended more of these parties knowing that this type of conduct was going to occur, it's my view, that may not be the criminal justice system's view, but it's certainly my view that you're complicit. And we intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, you know, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, you know, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people. if they're not true, and very hurtful, frankly, if they are true. But if they're true, you shouldn't have been in the room and you shouldn't have been participating. So I anticipate that we're going to start filing lawsuits, and it may not be big names at first, but we have a long list of names, and you might imagine in situations like this that when a victim tells us that this person was in the room or this person participated, we want to do as much due diligence as humanly possible before we file that case, because in the United States, in almost every state, public filings are in fact public, and when you name somebody in a lawsuit, the press is going to pick it up, and we're aware of that. So we're going to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's, and I expect that there will be some people named in these lawsuits that will raise some eyebrows.
Right. I mean, how big an eyebrow raise are we talking about? Because you've been hearing a lot of names, presumably, in the process of all these calls coming in, and you're a pretty smart lawyer, so you can probably work out the wheat from the chaff in terms of legitimate, plausible claims here in terms of victims. I mean, are we talking about names as big as Diddy, potentially?
I expect so. I expect so. Obviously those are the names that people are interested in, but I've tried to make sure people focus also on corporate entities, to include banks and hotels and perhaps even pharmaceutical entities that were maybe not directly involved, but were certainly benefiting and profiting from this kind of activity. Those I'm interested in as well. But we've seen all over social media the pictures and video of all the various individuals that attended these parties. And look, I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. I know that at these types of parties, things go on. I know that there's, sex is, occurs out in the open and things like that. That's not illegal, and that's not probably actionable. What I'm focused on is when people are lured to these parties, coerced at these parties, given illicit drugs at this party without their knowledge, and then they're taken advantage of, and people in the room know this is happening and participate in it and do nothing about it, and then tacitly cover it up. Those people, in my mind, are just as liable as the individuals who engage directly in the activity.
And of the 120 cases you've taken on so far, what percentage involve minors? And what is the split of male and female alleged victims?
It's about 25 out of the 120, but as you might imagine, since we did the press conference, that number is growing.
Sorry, 25 minors or?
25 minors out of the 120 clients, yes, sir. The minors, they kind of fall into two categories. One would be the category of individuals with stars in their eyes trying to break into the entertainment industry, who were either scouted or somehow found their way to a studio or to a location where they were being screened, and either the allegation is Mr. Combs himself or those around him involved took advantage of these people in some sort of quid pro quo to try to make them a star. And in some of these cases, it was the parents who were essentially handing their child off to a group of people that they trusted and who they thought were going to make their child a star. That's one group. The second group of minors would be individuals who were recruited, whether it be in a hotel lobby, whether it be at a show from the crowd, invited to a after concert party that made its way to a hotel, whether it be to some of the parties that we all heard about. They went there at age 16. There's a few that for instance, attended a party in the Hamptons and
there is
get career. Do you know Raymond Usher the fourth?
I expect that there will be some people named in these lawsuits. They kind of fall into two categories. One would be the category of individuals with stars in their eyes trying to break into the entertainment industry, who were either scouted or somehow found their way to a studio or to a location where they were being screened, and either the allegation is Mr. Combs himself or those around him involved took advantage of these people in some sort of quid pro quo to try to make them a star. And, you know, in some of these cases, it was the parents who were essentially handing their child off to a group of people that they trusted and who they thought were going to make their child a star. That's one group. The second group of minors would be individuals who were recruited, whether it be in a hotel lobby, whether it be at a show from the crowd, invited to a after concert party that made its way to a hotel, whether it be to some of the parties that we all heard about. They went there at age 16. You know, there's a few that, for instance, attended a party in the Hamptons and they were only 16 and taken advantage of there. So, you know, it pretty runs the gamut. But, you know, it's the allegations obviously are very egregious. We have to be very careful and responsible about how we pursue these. These are individual cases, will be filed. Each case will live or die on its own merits. Each case will have one or more defendants. In some cases, they'll all, you know, may be different. Some will be filed in New York. I would expect most of them will be filed because New York has a statute of limitations that's pretty generous. New York State has recognized that these types of allegations, it takes people a long time to come forward. It takes a lot of courage to come forward. So New York has recognized that. I think California has too. So I would expect most of these cases will be filed in those two states. And we're gonna pursue these cases aggressively. And the reason for the press conference is because, you know, I wanted to make sure that we, you know, Sean Combs obviously has been arrested. He's been indicted. Bail has been denied, I think, 3 times at this point. You know, I don't expect he's going anywhere. We want to make sure that every entity and every individual who had some role in this, that we examine that, and if the law supports it, that we bring them in and make them a part of this case as well.
And just on that second point about the gender split here, there have been lots of rumours that it's not just women or girls who've been involved in being abused here, but also young boys and young men. Can you clarify how many of your own cases are male?
I would say that number is 50-50. According to the client group, it looks like if you were to graph it, the number of males increased dramatically after 2015. You know, we've looked at this client group and vetted it in so many different ways, as you would expect, that you can see a trend that the number of males involved increased somewhere around the 2015 timeframe. I don't know why that is, but that's what the numbers show.
And based on the volume of claims you're getting, does that mean that these widespread rumors about Diddy's sexuality are likely to be true?
I won't comment on that. I can only comment on the allegations that are being made, that will be made in a public filing, and I'll let people draw their own conclusions. But I will say that 50% of the alleged victims are in fact male, and that includes the minors that were minors at the time of the allegations.
I mean, truly shocking, some of these statistics you're giving. In relation to tapes or videos and stuff that you've been told about or has come into your possession, have you seen material, evidential material, which in your estimation as a lawyer could cross the line into criminal activity?
You know, that's a difficult question. You know, as most of your viewers know, the standard of proof in a civil case versus a criminal case is very different. In a criminal case, you have to prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt. That's why the federal authorities, you know, they typically won't bring a case unless it's rock solid. And I'm sure they talked to a lot of people. They collected a lot of evidence. And, you know, from all of that, there's only 3 counts. The civil system is, the standard of proof is preponderance of the evidence. I like to describe it when I'm in court as more likely than not. And so when you look at these videos and pictures and bottles of oil that I've received and other things that we've been given, you know, the piece of evidence, the piece of physical evidence or the video by it in and of itself doesn't really prove anything. you see a sexual act being performed on video, but you need a witness or the victim to kind of put this in context. You see some sexual act that was captured by a third party on video. You still have to have somebody to say, okay, that individual who was engaged in that's who that is, and this individual who was engaged in that was drugged, and so that people are very interested into what do you have on video, what do you have as by way of evidence, and ultimately in these kinds of cases, it ultimately comes down to he said, she said. That's it every single time, or he said, and so the most important thing is the credibility of the victim, and typically in these cases, the defense is always the same. When you bring these kinds of allegations against someone, the first defense is always attack the victim, try to destroy the credibility of the victim. And what I'm looking for is to make sure that the victim, that I have the evidence to put the victim in the room.
Get away from me
With the alleged perpetrator. And then I try to collect witnesses and other data to corroborate what occurred.
Man, is you goddamn it? Who was the fucking names, nigga? Fuck all the bullshit. You slap the shit out of you, niggas. Speed the shit up, nigga.
Somebody very different, and he's probably capable of pretty much anything.
Fuck is wrong with him, nigga? Dragging the conversation.
But he didn't mention Cassie's name once.
No.
He sat there and pontificated about how he saw
it. wasn't
about
what we were hearing there. Some real. Well, joining me now is the producer, director, and hip-hop documentarian, Choke No Joke, the former federal prosecutor, Andrew Cherkasky, and the uncensored contributor, Esther Krakio. Esther, we've been sitting there. My jaw would have been dropping if I wasn't doing the interview. Your jaw was dropping about what we were hearing there. Some real extraordinary detail about this Houston lawyer's 120 cases. What struck you from what you just heard?
I think the most shocking thing, and
why
you saw
you
my
do
jaw
that?
drop when he said there are just as many men that came forward as women, and that actually it looked like the systemic abuse of men started really to ramp up in 2015. And I can't believe it. This is a complete...
Don't start that over here. Don't start that over here.
And I would actually, say that with regards to what his mother said, the statement that she made, she's clearly in denial, right? Because you can't have this wave of people coming forward and this much evidence, even from the Cassie video, and still say that your son is.
Well, that's interesting.
That's bizarre.
If I hadn't seen that video, I've always taken the view with all of these things, particularly since the whole Me Too thing blew up. You've got to wait for justice to be carried out. You've got to see due process take place. I think it's so important. But when I saw that video, when I saw what Diddy was actually capable of, in plain sight in a hotel corridor with this girl that he was just beating up, that was so shocking. I thought, wow, this guy, he's not the person I met several times. He was very charming and nice. He's somebody very different. And he's probably capable of pretty much anything.
Get out of here with that. Get out.
He sat there and pontificated about how he saw
it. Wasn't an apology, was it? It was more of a, I'm in the get out of it.
Well, it was just horrendous. And I think his mother is quite clearly in denial. I think on some deep level, she knows that this is a product of a household that she, and I'm assuming his father, ran. I never really think that people who are predators on that level just do it because somehow they get power and they can get away with it. You really have to have a mentality, a psychology that's imbued in you from a young age. You either grew up in an environment where respecting people, particularly women, was just not a thing, or he was entitled and raised with this idea that actually, if you amass enough power, you can get away with systemically abusing people. And I think we actually need to look at the households that produce a lot of these predators.
Who was crying like a baby? Your mama.
Rapists and sexual assauters.
Maybe you hearing your mama.
It's much more systemic than that.
Let me bring in Choke No Joke. You were part of Diddy's entourage at a commercial event a year ago where he was welcomed like a king by fans and industry people. We've got some Aaliyah of that. This is Diddy as we knew him before the scandal erupted. It was actually just before the video got leaked, well, to CNN, of him beating up his then girlfriend at the time. Are you as stunned as everybody else, Choke No Joke, about what's happened here to Diddy?
First of all, let me say hello to you, Piers Morgan. I am surprised at a lot of the allegations, but I want to correct you. I wasn't a part of his entourage. I was there independently, documenting as I do, and
I see. Yeah.
I know him from the past, so yeah, I was there to document the revolt.
But you have attended, unless I'm mistaken, you have attended these freak-off parties at the invitation of Diddy on occasion. And there was one party, you said, where Diddy tried to come on to you and looked at him like he was Beyonce in a bikini, you said. You were invited by Diddy personally, an industry after party. You said there were also women there who were known in the industry to be gay and so on. I mean, just when you say you're not shocked by
let me clear that up, because you like mashing a bunch of stuff together. All right, one, it wasn't a freak-off party. Well, it may have been. I'm not sure because I didn't go inside. But it was and I wasn't invited by him. I was actually with Little Kim and Hillary Weston, who was Little Kim's manager at the time. And we had went to the BET Awards, and then we went to an after party. At the after party is when Diddy or Sean Combs invited Kim to meet us at the CEO, Steve Rifkin's house. When we went to Steve Rifkin's house, which would be that after party, I was at that house that's where Diddy came on to me at. And there was a lot of people there, but I was on the outside, the back porch of the house. I never went inside.
Okay.
So whatever went on inside, I didn't get to see.
And when you say Diddy...
But he did come on to me.
Yeah, I mean, so tell me about that. I mean, what happened?
As far as what?
Him coming on to you.
He just made a pass at me, and I denied it, all with looks, and that was it.
How did you respond?
And, that wasn't it.
You talking about how did you respond?
Once I realized that he was hitting on me, and I looked at my environment and realized that most of the people there were gay or bisexual, then I caught on to where we were at, and I went and I grabbed Hillary Weston, and I pulled her outside, and I told her, hey, Diddy's over here hitting on me. Go get Little Kim. We are leaving. And that's what we did.
Because there have been a lot of rumors about Diddy's sexuality, and I think it's only relevant in the sense that the lawyer I just spoke to in Texas says that half of the victims that he's representing are male, which would suggest here that, and they're all connected in some way to Diddy, obviously claims at the stage, but that would certainly suggest that Diddy is at very least bisexual.
I would believe that to be true. From him passing on to me, a straight man don't hit on a straight man. But can I say one thing in regards to your last guest that was saying that his mother's in denial? I don't think that's a fair statement for her to say, and I don't like the fact that she said he was raised in a household with a mother and father and blah, 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 because I'm a guy that grew up in the projects. My mother always made sure I did right. My father always made sure I did right. But when I got on outside of the door of the other threshold, the streets told me different. And I did a lot of things that my mother couldn't even fathom today that I did. So when she says that, his mother's in denial or she may be part of the reason for his behavior, a lot of our behavior comes from being in the street and...
Hold on, I think
hit the like button, hit the like button.
I think you misunderstood what I was saying. First of all, of course, individuals are responsible for their own actions, but individuals are not.
She got that accent.
They're raised in homes.
Imagine hitting that
and cultures.
with
I'm not
that
blaming his mother in
accent.
any way, shape, or form. But any parent whose child is accused of these sorts of crimes will undoubtedly just reflect and think, is there anything that I could have done? That's all I was insinuating. And also, she is in denial because we've all seen that Cassie video. Someone who is capable of treating Cassie like that, dragging her around like a rag doll. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be shocked when allegations of this kind come forward, particularly with the stuff like 1,000 bottles of baby oil in his home. First of all, what is he doing with all of that? And secondly, those poor babies that are deprived of their moisturizer.
It ain't
right?
your business.
At some point, if you're looking at it objectively, you cannot be surprised after that Cassie video came out that he is also capable of doing the things that are being alleged against him. That's not to blame his mother. That is to say that if you're looking at this objectively, which of course she won't be able to because it's her son, you have to believe there's an element of denial there. That's not to say that people who grew up in disadvantaged situations will always turn out this way.
The truth is we don't know, right? We don't know. I think it's perfectly possible, as Choke just said, that you can be one thing with your parents, but if you then get out on the streets and you get led down various bad places, you could be something which maybe you're the one in denial to your parents. I can absolutely believe that to be but the truth is, we don't know. But look, she won't be the first and won't be the last mother to defend the indefensible with her son. Let me bring in Andrew here. You're a former federal prosecutor. We've heard from a civil case lawyer. He's got 100 civil actions. And I said to him, has he seen stuff that passes the bar of criminality?
Why I'm against her?
Because you need to go through the whole process of building a criminal case.
Because I just like to be the villain. I'm picking on I need somebody to pick on right now.
Any doubt that P. Diddy is
so I got to start with her. This show. I'm the great debater.
Against him, and the federal prosecutors who
but
brought this
I
case,
take her down,
especially
though.
in a complex way that they did, are sure to get convictions along the way. I think that their charge sheet is indicative of years and years of evidence that they have deeply investigated at this point that will lead to undoubtedly convictions, and that will lead to a significant amount of jail time. That said, there are going to be battles along the way, both in the criminal realm as well as the civil realm, because the devil is often in the details. So the prosecutors as well as the civil attorneys are going to have to prove their case. And in most of the situations, they're going to have to prove it on kind of a day in, day out basis. On this date, this specific thing happened.
You didn't know I was married.
That there were orgies that happened, or the general idea that drugs may have been present, or some people did drugs. Some people had feelings like if they didn't do this, they wouldn't be able to advance. Some of that stuff is not going to actually raise the charges with sufficient proof to prove either in the criminal realm or the civil realm. They're really going to have to get those criminalized elements, or in the civil case, things that look like criminal actions, the kind of removal of consent, or the pushing through these acts without consent present. And when you see over 100 people in a civil lawsuit, certainly there is concern that people are jumping on a bandwagon. Perhaps they were present and they're just saying that something non-consensual happened in one of those situations. So each of those cases are going to have to be tested. And I think the final point on, especially with Mr. Busby speaking earlier, saying that there are others that might be involved. I think the feds are going to be looking at all of those people involved and kind of giving them an option. Were you a victim? Are you somebody who we can have say something against Diddy? Or is this something where you're part of the conspiracy and we're going to add charges? Similar in the civil case. He's not naming names. Is he trying to reach hush money kind of settlements here? I think that as he's pushing forward the narrative that there were many people involved, we want to hear those names, and we want to be assured that there's not hush money agreements going on, and that he's not simply dangling the idea that he's going to drop these names.
Say the lawyer lying like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, on Fox News, their lawyer Brian Claypool said if Combs doesn't testify in this case, he's dead on arrival. Would you concur with that?
Testimony is something that I guess it has only some value to it, because of course he's going to deny it if he were to testify. I think what the case really comes down to is the corroborating evidence. It is difficult when an alleged victim goes in and simply testifies that this happened to me. Any case, whether it's criminal or civil, juries want some sort of corroboration. They want the feeling from the alleged victim that it happened and that it's reliable, but they want to look at that surrounding information. So are there videos that show it? And how can you interpret the different things that are in the video? What does the timeline look like, the text messages, the conversation surrounding the events? So it's all going to come down to corroboration on those individual cases. As I said, the devil's in the details.
Don't come over here
really
playing.
Going to have to prove the nuance of each case.
Yeah. I mean, Chuck, you chronicled the hip-hop world for a long time. I can't pretend that I'm massively shocked that the hip-hop world is full of guys behaving badly and displaying, at the very, very least, rampant misogyny. I mean, the lyrics are full of it. So there's been a kind of brazen celebration of misogyny
That's what
for a
I
long
said.
time in the hip-hop world.
I said that same
really
thing.
Shocking that Diddy
that they gonna kill him and say he killed himself.
have been, holding out the carrot of record contracts and stuff and using their fame and money to drug and abuse people?
Well, for me, I've been in hip hop for 30 years, even before I was born. I have a documentary out called The Hip Hop Nucleus, a documentary on the tunnel, which is out right now.
I gotta make me some content. I got shit to say. A lot.
At the tunnel. I've been shooting him before.
Do your thing, shawty.
So I've seen all these guys come from nothing and go to millionaires, to multi-millionaires, to billionaires, allegedly, right? But throughout my travels in the industry, once I got to a certain point, like BET, I started to notice a different change in the industry where it was more of gatekeepers and, I had to succumb to homosexuality. There's drugs being passed around. And, I don't do these type of things.
So how did you stay around?
Addict over 30 years, so I would never do drugs. But yes, these things are a part of the culture, and the sexuality is a part of the culture. And if you don't succumb to it, like myself, my career suffered because I didn't succumb to homosexuality or the drugs.
I mean, Esther, it's, like I say, I can't pretend I'm massively shocked. It is shocking to see the scale of it.
Yeah.
But am I shocked that top hip-hop stars, were having pretty awful parties where they did pretty awful things? I can't pretend I am.
I mean, I'm a bit shocked at the lack of judgment. So P. Diddy had friends, right? He had accomplices, he had friends, he had acquaintances. Other than sort of the ground staff, the infrastructure that kept his sick operation ticking. He had high-profile friends. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to seem lifeless. Right. But they were household names. They were celebrities in their own rights. They were artists. They were actresses and all of that. All of whom, in the years that they've been friends with him had at least seen or suspected some sort of character defects, to put it nicely. And they still remain friends with him. They still chose to associate with him. And I draw contrasts to 50 Cent, who I hope in my life I never get on the bad side of, because he is a complete bulldog. He's ruthless. Right? But 50 Cent and Eminem always made it clear that they never...
Together?
Sorry?
I said, can I say birds of a feather flock together?
Well, yes, exactly.
All those people that you are naming about that's around Diddy, been around him, all these people, they all circled and they praised him at his time. Just 1 year ago, Diddy had the #1 album in the country with the Love album. He was celebrated. He got Lifetime Achievement Awards. He got the Key to the City. They all celebrated him because they all play in the same cesspool. But now that he's in trouble, the reason why you don't see no support is because they might get pulled in. But Diddy lived a rock star life, no similar to Guns N' Roses and Aerosmith. All these guys had groupies. They all did drugs. They all went on tour. The only difference between R. Kelly and Hugh Hefner is Hugh Hefner made it to the made it to the grave with a smile on his face. All R. Kelly did was try to be Hugh Hefner. So all these people, they all, is black and is white.
Well,
right?
Hugh Hefner, to be clear, Hugh Hefner didn't sleep with minors that we're...
He just hit a point, y'all. Y'all ain't paying attention. Y'all ain't paying attention. He just hit a point. He say they're highlighted when it's black, but when they white, y'all ain't thinking about it. Let's get to it, man.
All these people, they all circled and they praised him at his time. Just 1 year ago, Diddy had the #1 album in the country with the Love album. He was celebrated. He got Lifetime Achievement Awards. He got the Key to the City. They all celebrated him because they all play in the same cesspool. But now that he's in trouble, the reason why you don't see no support is because they might get pulled in. But Diddy lived a rock star life, no similar to Guns N' Roses and Aerosmith. All these guys had groupies. They all did drugs. They all went on tour. The only difference between R. Kelly and Hugh Hefner is Hugh Hefner made it to the grave with a smile on his face. All R. Kelly did was try to be Hugh Hefner. So all these people, they all, is black and is white.
Well,
right?
Hugh Hefner, to be clear, Hugh Hefner didn't sleep with minors that we're aware of, and R. Kelly did.
I mean, Hugh Hefner
Yeah,
kept
but
it barely
there's
legal.
girls that he pop Quaaludes in their mouth. You ever hear the girl talk about how when she first met Hugh Hefner, first thing he did was make them try drugs? He drugged them?
Yeah, I'm just saying that there was a difference between minors and adults who were, on the face of it, consenting. There's a difference.
Well, the minors have not been proved yet. Those allegations. And trust me, I'm not defending Diddy. I'm just saying, let's not just make it about it's just Diddy and let's not put allegations as facts until we see the facts.
No,
and
listen, I totally believe in due process. There are lots of people spraying all sorts of names out there, making all sorts of wild claims. This scandal is getting bigger every day. And we've got to remain cognizant that a lot of people have their own agendas here, might have their own feuds going on, might have their own scores to settle and so on. I was going to ask you, Andrew, just from a federal prosecutor point of view, when you get a name as big as Diddy and there's lots of money flushing around in potential settlements, how wary would you be about people just trying it on, for a cash grab?
Oh, I think that's a big concern that in the exploration to get to the truth, and that's what the prosecutors are going to be trying to do here, is they're getting to the truth in a manner that they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. There's a lot of evidence that they can use along the way. They can take the dozens and dozens of people that are making these claims and they can look to see if it fits into the wider scheme. Is that good evidence that they're going to be able to use to bolster their case? And I think one of the big missteps along the way would be if prosecutors or if the civil attorneys put forward cases or allegations that fall flat, something that is proven to be inconsistent or something that shows that one of these folks was trying to create a buzz about them or trying to go for a money grab, and then that infiltrates and pollutes the rest of the case. Yeah. So the prosecutors, the civil attorneys, they've all got to be very careful to bring only truly credible cases of criminal acts, not people with regrettable positions that they were put in or things where they're looking back on this and trying to reframe it. Truly criminal activities are going to be the focus here and making sure that those cases are highly reliable.
Well, that was a bit like we saw with Harvey Weinstein, wasn't it? Where there were many, many women who came forward, but they were quite careful, the feds, in the particular cases they took, so that they could almost guarantee conviction. And I think that's what they'll probably be doing here. Is, like you say, if you overdo it, you have too many cases you put forward, and some of them are suspect and collapse, you can have a very domino effect on everything. So they'll be very cautious, I'm sure. Just on something else there, Andrew, new court documents revealed today show that Sean Combs' lawyers have apparently made a third attempt for him to get bond. Now, one of the attempts involved $50 million, which in itself said to me, this is a very serious case against him, because for them to reject a $50 million bond was pretty unprecedented. The fact they keep trying to get it and keep having it rejected, what does that tell you?
Well, it tells me that the judge sees this as serious as the prosecutors do. I mean, these are crimes that are so serious that it would likely leave Sean Combs in jail the rest of his life, or nearly for the rest of his life. So the idea that if he were released, is he going to show up to his hearings on time, and is he going to not commit further criminal activity? The judge is saying that he can't be assured of that. I think some of us are surprised that Sean Combs actually remained while the investigation was going on. After his house was raided, he didn't make the kind of grand flee effort to go to some sort of non-extradition type country. So I don't know where he'd go. He doesn't have a great kind of escape option, but these charges are so serious that I think that you can put this in kind of the life sentence category, and it's really difficult for a judge to justify letting somebody out when charges are this serious and this grave.
I completely disagree. I think he has an out option, and that is popping a cyanide pill. That's the first thing P. Diddy is going to do if he gets bail. He
hasn't done it yet. What? I mean, he knew it was out there. He knew that the feds were locked in on him. If he was going to take the cyanide pill, or if he was going to flee the country, he would have done it.
I don't know. I think he's so arrogant.
Real quick?
They gonna try to kill that nigga.
Can I say something, please? Can I please say something, please? Ma'am, I don't know who you are, right? But I would like for you to consider that this is a man that has 4 children, right? There's more than 4 children.
7.
But he has 4 children he has 4 children that don't have a mother. He has 4 children that don't have a father on the outside, right?
What's the word? What's the word?
So, as a black man, right? I don't care how detrimental your life is, right? He's not killing himself, and he's not fleeing the country with his children out here. Cause like, please
I'm sorry, I find
have
that
some
very hard to
compassion
believe.
for
This-
I'm
sorry. This is
That's
a man
why I'm
who's
against
facing
that.
Listen,
sexual
if he
trafficking
wanted to kill himself,
allegations.
People might have said the same thing.
if he
Stop,
wanted to
CJ.
kill himself,
Yeah.
he would have been dead already.
But Joe, I mean, you might have said the same thing about Jeffrey Epstein.
Exactly.
You know, many of his friends would have said he'll never kill himself, but he did.
This
Well,
is a man.
he allegedly
Who's
did.
to say that he killed himself?
Well, obviously,
I don't believe he
I
killed
know the
himself.
conspiracy theories. We don't know. It is believed he killed himself, but we don't know. No,
Yeah, and ironically, Pierce, the cameras wasn't working when he hung himself.
I agree that there is a lot of stuff going on there, which is very.
I just think it's a bit too late for P. Diddy to try and start playing good daddy after the kinds of things he's being alleged or accused of committing, including
I'm not saying
abusing
be good
Cassie,
daddy.
which we have on film.
Ma'am, I'm not saying be good daddy. And his mother didn't deny or dispel anything about the Cassie video. She actually condemned him in that, but Pierce didn't read that part. But
What's
what I'm
that
saying
word?
to you,
What's that
the man
word?
ain't killing himself, and he's not playing good daddy. It's just the fact that you love your children, good, bad, or indifferent. And I'm sure his children are very, very disappointed in their father, but at the end of the day, they don't want to see him dead.
Of course not. But that's not what I'm saying they want to happen. I'm saying that this has got so...
You see? Y'all asked me why was I against her.
Don't fuck the feds. Don't get it twisted. A life sentence the same as being dead. Nigga, late night we on the mission to get us some money in the trap bag and pets. Once you telling no coming back from that, we don't deal with rats. Trap been jumping at 12 and lurking. Ain't on us getting this money. Nigga, I feed them kids shit. Nigga, I feed they stomachs. My brother, they brought him to work from Texas. This nigga go get me a necklace. Just trip me when you get the bezel. It's already sold, I'll text you. Don't worry about security, niggas got buns inside this section. The internet police, they said I got bodies on Reddit. They know I got bodies on Reddit. Why? Cause the dirt and butter be telling. But my bodies ain't on record. I go in the club and buy sections. Me and Tune be going about a bar out. Freak gon' tweak up in this bitch cause we'll knock your lights out. I be flexing on my brother, I ain't gotta put it on job. 762 go right through a car. You niggas on the net, I can make you a star. I can make you famous overnight. You can make the news if you reach 45. They find you on channel 2. Academics tell it too. Yeah, he getting body view. Everything he telling, that shit go right up on the news. I don't give a fuck though. Yeah, we out here cutting though. Twins say we sliding, we bouncing out on hoes.
so bad and so out of control that I don't think it's inconceivable that he will choose to end his life.
Well, you didn't wait for the best part yet. The best part didn't happen yet. The best part is,
Well, when he's sentenced to life in prison.
allegedly, he's going to be indicted for the murder of Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G. I think that's what's coming down the pipeline. This stuff right here is serious, but I believe that he's going to be indicted for the alleged murder for hire of Tupac Shakur.
Can I ask you, Chuck, is that based on information that you know, that you've been told?
That's information on all the evidence that's out there.
Right, but do you believe that evidence is correct? Do you think there's enough evidence that says that he was involved?
I believe from all the evidence that's been out there, all the people that talked on YouTube, that the quad hit, Diddy was there with Jimmy Henchman, right? Jimmy Henchman had a problem with Tupac. This is why Tupac got shot at Quad Studios. To make a long story short, at the end of it, you have a guy named Gene Dale that works for Diddy that says that he saw a check that a guy named Eric Von Zip had, and he told him that the check was for the murder of Tupac Shakur. Now, There's a YouTuber by the name of Doggy Diamonds. Gene Deal tells Doggy Diamonds, yo, you saw the check for Biggie's life? And he corrects, he said, no, I saw the check for Pac's life. Eric Von Zip had a check in his right back pocket, and he said it came from Black Ground Records, right? Well, Jimmy Henchman was working with Black Ground Records. So if you tie the Tupac shooting at Quad Studio and you go all the way to the end of it, if there was a check, allegedly, if this was true, and Diddy did pay for the hit on Tupac and Suge Knight, and that check came from Black Ground Records, it leads right back to the Quad Studios shooting where when Tupac got shot, Diddy was in the studio with Jimmy Henchman. But they don't tell that story. They make it look like Diddy was in the studio with Biggie. No, Biggie went behind Diddy's back and got a deal with Atlantic Records and was having a secret meeting, having a secret recording session for the first Junior Mafia album. They was recording their first song. Diddy found out that Biggie was having a session. He came to Quad. He was getting ready to bust in on Biggie. But the shooting with Tupac deferred the plan. But Diddy was going to bust in on Biggie to find out that he had a whole nother deal. He was in there recording. So to make a long story short, Diddy and Sean Combs and Notorious Big Christopher Wallace had a publishing deal together. With that publishing deal, Notorious B.I.G. is to write songs and Diddy gets a portion of the money. What Biggie did, which was wrong, is he went and wrote all the stuff for Lil' Kim and Junior Mafia and lied to Diddy and told him that they wrote their own stuff. So back the day before Biggie died, Gene Deal tells the story of how he was smoking weed with Biggie, and he was security. He was not supposed to be smoking. Biggie told Diddy that we need more security because Gene was high. So Gene, in return, tells Diddy, hey, man, Biggie, he wrote all the Lil' Kim stuff and Junior Mafia. Diddy jumps in Biggie's face. Say it, you wrote it. Say it. And Big is like, oh man, come on, Diddy, right? The next day, Biggie was dead.
Well, that is what they call a dropped intro bombshell. Look, there are lots of rumours to that effect. I haven't heard it spelled out in quite the detail you just did. Absolutely fascinating. All I would say about any of it is I don't know what happened and whether he was involved in the shootings of Tupac or indeed Biggie. What I do
We
know
need 6 more likes, y'all. Hit the fucking like button.
Hotel corridor. I thought this guy is capable of a lot of very, very nasty violence against people. And so,
we seen him beat Steve Stauder.
Yeah.
We seen him beat the dude at USC with the kettlebell.
Yeah.
It's no secret that he's violent.
No. I'm just saying. And if somebody's that violent, they're capable of pretty much anything. I've got to leave it there. Thank you all very much.
This shit is, y'all. All type of shit coming out now. Stop. Get off of that. Get off of that. Don't touch it. Get away from me. If you want to do all that whining, you got to get away from me. Watch out. Go get your tablet. Beyonce, Snoop, Morgan. I don't believe it. I I don't believe it.
Today on the Trend Out Loud podcast. Why are Jay-Z and Beyonce doing this right now? Why are they contacting Piers Morgan and asking him to take that down? Beyonce and Jay-Z never talk about anything. They never say anything. They never come out and deny allegations. They send lawyers after Piers Morgan. That's how huge this is, all right? We finally have confirmation. There are A-list celebrities paying off victims that were at Diddy's house, Diddy's parties, and are allegedly on Diddy's tapes. We have confirmation. It's no longer hearsay. It's no longer maybe.
Man, and I ain't seen it yet, man. We ain't finna watch it. I'm sorry, y'all. That nigga got too much energy.
And I expect that there will be some people named in these lawsuits that will raise some eyebrows.
How big an eyebrow raise are we talking about? I mean, are we talking about names as big as Diddy, potentially?
These are crimes that are so serious that it would likely leave Sean Combs.
That's Puff Daddy.
There have been a ton of sexual assault lawsuits filed against Sean Combs. Those accusers and those accusations may play a role in his
You're listening to Big Facts with Big Bank and DJ Scream.
Live from First Class Sounds is DJ Scream, Big Bank, Baby J, special guest Young Dolph, and it's time for Big Facts. Oh, God damn it. What's up, everybody?
What's up with my boy?
Everybody good? Sure. Everything A1?
Fantastic.
Dog, man. What you been on, bro? You know I was gonna hit your phone when you, and I think this is over with. You had what went on that day when you was talking about you was gonna retire? Like what the hell there going on?
I'm gonna keep it real, bro. Nigga be geek.
You was geek, and I shot the swamp. Yeah.
And I be having, I'm juggling a lot of different shit. You know what I'm saying? Doing shit.
Yeah.
Not just the music shit. Over the pandemic, and over last show, the pandemic, I invested in 2 big ass companies and shit. And I'm like, bro, this shit gonna make me $1 billion.
Right.
So I'm like, music, that shit in my weight. Like I gotta still get that shit time and focus. Like, I'm gonna just stop this shit and just focus on another this. Bro, I got all kind of hate messages. Text messages from my family members, fans, and DM, text message from my niggas, my kinfolk and shit. They like, bro, you bullshit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga wake up tomorrow and when all this shit done whoa, I was like, bro, I can't quit doing music. You know
I feel like take a nigga like Snoop Dogg. Much money as he getting, much other shit he doing, he still gonna make some music for the fans.
Yeah.
At least every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then. It might not be your priority no more. But
I can't do it. I'm gonna keep it real. I can't do it. But really, just real talk. It's like I'm the spokesperson for all of the street niggas and all of the niggas that on some independent shit and really coming to the game on some shit like you know what I'm saying? The niggas that really want to do this shit, but like I don't want to tie myself no major label. I want to do this shit on my own. I'm hustle this shit. I'm grind out. Like it's just like everything else. You got some niggas that don't want to take
just sit back and shut the fuck up, Lil Rolly.
Like, shit, I'm gonna do this shit like my way, you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
just sit back and shut the fuck up, Lil Rolly.
Like I'm like motivated.
Hit the like button.
They be needing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people come to me and tell me this shit all the time. You know what I mean? Niggas from Detroit, niggas from Chicago, Memphis, niggas for a fact, goddamn Cali niggas. Everybody like, bro, the way you doing this shit, you done did this shit, bro. Like, bro, that's what we trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. It's like, I gotta keep motivating you.
Like, Lil Rolly crazy.
Southway, that's what they call it. Like, I'm trying to go to Southway.
You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly, bro. Like, so it's like, hell no. Now, I mean, I already keep motivating these folks, because there's gonna be somebody come behind me gonna do this shit even better. And that's what I'm setting this shit up for. Like, I don't have game.
Free dick.
In the streets, you were like, bro, niggas have game and shit for they niggas. Like, niggas doing this and doing that with a nigga over here, but you want everybody to holler at you, but they know the same nigga, but you want to keep shit a secret.
Like you the plug.
Yeah, all that old shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but nigga, this shit be right around.
Nah, I don't want to.
You know what I mean? Nigga pulling up.
I might change it right now.
My man, bro, everybody know that nigga, bro. Like, you just don't.
Y'all just sit back and shut the fuck up. Y'all just sit back and shut the fuck up. I was scrolling and I heard. You motherfuckers is weird. Y'all don't understand I'm part of entertainment. This shit entertainment. Some of you motherfuckers just sitting there at work and ain't doing nothing. I'm giving you entertainment. Entertainment. Are you not entertained? I know y'all, it's 42 people in here right now. If I put Diddy on right now, I guarantee you it'd be 100 and something up in this motherfucker. Let's just watch. So that's why I don't be really wanting to show and care for what y'all think no more. I tried to listen to y'all. Y'all led me down the wrong path, motherfucker. The wrong path. Let's get to it. Just shut the fuck up and accept what's going on.
Diddy lawyer. You heard about how he came out saying that Diddy is not taking a plea deal?
The best motherfucking streaming podcaster, YouTuber out here on YouTube. All you motherfuckers gotta do is subscribe daily. Top of the line, and we talking about Diddy, Young Dolph, Jay-Z, whatever the fuck going on. We gonna speak about this shit that just happened in Chicago too. Shut the fuck up and watch the video. Hit the like button too with your bald head ass.
And he's taking a stand.
He out his rabbit ass mind. He done fell and bumped his head. There's no way. Now you done said you had 50 witnesses against you. Now you got another 120 witnesses allegedly against you. And all you need is one witness for a sexual assault or sex trafficking case. One witness. You think they ain't got a chance to find one out of 170? He better hope and pray. He better hope and pray that they want somebody more than they want his client. That they want somebody that they'll give his client a plea bargain. Ain't no
He
way
talking about
this man
one
is going
word
to
per
get up
minute. Shut your
in
stupid
no
ass
federal
up.
court and
Dumb
explain
dumb.
any of his shenanigans to a jury or a judge. There's no way. He ain't that bright.
So if he take the stand, you believe that's a mistake?
If I said he fell and bumped his head, if I said he must be riding a yellow bus with a helmet on his head, that's going to be one of the biggest mistakes he ever can make in his life, bro. He is not going to get in front of no
Damn, he did this at my grandma's crib. If y'all look right there,
it all sound good.
that's me, my daddy, and my
And like I
grandma.
always say, it may make him feel good.
Damn.
That won't be healthy. Dealing with the federal government like that, he crazy, bro. He out his mind. There's no way, excuse me. There's no way that he's, with all the allegations against him.
That's crazy.
Even when he started explaining the situation with Cassie and dragging her by her hair and stuff like that back to the room. That's a form of kidnapping. How do you explain the tape? How do you explain it?
Y'all crazy.
Make him look real bad, bro. He better hope
Is
and
Jeannie
pray
Deal getting high?
that he can find some kind of leniency, and he can have somebody advocate and try to get
that happened in my grandma. This interview took place in my grandma interview in my grandma living room.
It's based on the evidence that he's being convicted by.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't looking too good for him. But before this interview, you was telling me that a female reached out to you about a sex tape?
That's my uncle talking.
It may not have been a year ago. It may have been close to a year, 9 months.
That's my uncle doing the interview. He still stay with my grandma.
I don't know. Was it a year? It's 6 months to a year. I forget about it because we just had a brief conversation for about like a week.
Till
or so.
this day.
Like she'll call me one day and then we'll talk a little bit.
If you look behind him, you can see my basketball trophy.
Information and everything like that. But I really couldn't help
still there from 20 years
and
ago.
Then she told me the guy's name. You know, she said, Gene, I know it wasn't you. You know, she told me her credentials. She said, Gene, I went to college. You know, I come from a reputable family. I live in...
Yeah, he about was in there going crazy.
Where you at?
And that running around naked.
Do I know this bodyguard name?
With a body oil.
Joe. And I said, wow, what's going on? And then she told me about that she had heard about this tape floating around, Puffy, ex-A in her, sexually assaulting her. And I was like, wow. And I couldn't say anything because I know the parties and stuff like that. But I told him, I said, yo, I can't give you Joe's number, but I'll get in touch with him or whatever, best way I could. So I got in touch with Joe and I told him what the lady said, and he just said that she was, she didn't know anything about it, and then, it was felonious. So then the lady had told me she didn't want Joe, she just wanted a copy of the tape so she could bring charges up on Puff. So I said to her, he said that there's no tapes exist. That tape doesn't exist. You understand? So I gave her that information. I let Joe know. I let her know.
That's pretty cool. My uncle got to interview him. Yeah.
Do you believe the tape exists?
Now he building his platform.
What I believe.
Everybody keep coming to my grandma's house though.
I was told.
Jeannie Deal slept on the couch. He ain't had no hotel room. He slept on the couch.
I never saw the tape. I never, know anybody who say they saw the tape. See, what happens is that, man, when you have a certain status in Harlem.
Shout out to Corey Johnson for the super chat.
Stuff that happens in the street.
$5 super chat.
And there was information in the streets that a tape like that existed.
For sure.
How true
Make sure you subscribe to the page too, brother.
Because I don't look for that stuff. I'm not trying to find nothing. And that's what it was.
What's on the tape?
I heard it was enough on the tape that people could blackmail Puff for. That's what I actually heard.
Stop.
Too far, man.
Yeah, man. All type of shit.
Well, okay, and now working with Puff, Bad Boy and everything, man. Casey files this lawsuit against Puff. Were you surprised, and what was your initial thoughts when you first seen the lawsuit filed?
When the lawsuit was filed, my initial thoughts on that whole thing was that it was based on because she has some celebrity status. I've gotten calls from 2 different women who told me that they were trying to.
We need 6 more likes, y'all.
And wanted to come on my platform and tell the people what he done to them. And they said they couldn't get lawyers to take it. Now you got lawyers willing to take anything anybody has to say. Our justice system is messed up, brother, because if you ask those ladies who are coming out now, they probably tried to get a lawyer to take it long time ago, but they wouldn't because of the powers that be. Now that Puff is losing that power, lawyers are willing to go to court and try to get money from him, from their clients, and what people are saying he did to them.
Do you believe everything that she said? Do you think it's all accurate?
I believe what he paid for.
What do you mean by what he paid for? Oh, you mean the 30? Okay, you're talking about the settlement that happened the next day.
Right.
So everything that was in the lawsuit.
I don't know all the things that were said, but you're not gonna pay for nothing that you didn't do. So whatever he paid for in that lawsuit, I believe.
You know, in the paperwork, it says that he was addicted to painkillers and ecstasy. Have you ever seen anything like that, or when you were around him?
I knew he was addicted
We need
to
6 more likes, y'all.
Because after that, that incident with Kim, he used to have this little white guy he used to meet, or he would have the drivers go get the pills that he was addicted to from this little white guy who was selling him them opioids.
Why do you think it took so long for people to come out and say something?
Like I said before, I don't think it took so long. It took somebody with celebrity status who had a legal team that was willing to go to war for her in order to get some justice for her in a compensation matter in a civil suit. I believe that there's a lot of guys, a lot of people in that industry that have done things, and people can't get lawyers to go to bat for them.
Yeah, there's been a long list of other celebrities since this happened that it came out, and a lot of other celebrities started to get sued. You know, what do you think about that list? And, you know, is there anything there that you've heard about?
Well, I've heard about a couple of things, but you got to realize is that it's what they can prove. You know, like
Yeah.
with this Weinstein
All
thing,
this came from him beating Cassie.
Just take Jimmy Iovine for example. Jimmy Iovine got a lawsuit, but you don't see it on the news. Why? Why you don't see it on the news? People have been coming out saying things that he said that he did to them, but because his publicists and the people that be is not allowing that to go down on him. Puff did some things to some powerful people that they're calling in their friends and everything, and everybody's taking their hands off of him. So now he's no longer the altar boy, and he's not in their club anymore. Did you hear him on Jimmy Kimmel? He said, "Yo, I thought we was friends." Jimmy Kimmel knew he wasn't supposed to ask Puff anything about me, but he's not part of the boys club anymore.
You know, this right here is going to ruin him, man. It's going to ruin his legacy, everything that he worked for.
He ruined his legacy, brother. People is trying to say like, yo, y'all going after a black man, y'all trying to tear a black man down. No, it's a big difference from a nigga and a black man. He was doing shit to people that he never thought that it would come back at him. Now, if he never did anything to those girls, if those girls was lying, then he would have never settled out. It was a girl that came out, Cam, 2.5 years before Cassie came out, and went on a major platform and told her how he was kicking her, beating her, and made her get rid of 2 kids. A girl named Gina came out on a major platform that he was dating, that she had texts from Cassie, and her and Cassie was texting each other back and forth, and Cassie was saying, "I don't hate you, I know how he is," and they was talking about each other and talking to each other. She came out 2 years ago. So you tell me, Cam, why didn't nobody take her case?
Maybe they didn't believe. I mean, I could guess. I mean, maybe they didn't believe him because he's puffy. He got a lot of star power. He can fight back. You know.
She had no lawyers or nobody that was interested in going through that battle, in that long, drawn-out court battle, that they had to file papers. They had to do that 2-3 years ago. 2-3 years down the road, she ain't coming up with a dime. Cassie had the lawyers and the people who put the money behind the lawyers to make sure that her case was clammed tight so she could win. You don't get those type of lawyers, man, without somebody putting some money behind you. Those are high-profile lawyers that have won major cases.
Right. Puffy would be a very hard target to go after if you're a lawyer. It would absolutely burn up a whole bunch of money. So if you're not rich, you don't have at least a lot of money, it's going to be really hard to really go through that and fight it in the public. Puffy knows everybody. He knows the media. Everybody likes Puffy. I mean, it's an uphill battle for sure. I can see that.
And that's what happened, brother. Yo, it's women probably gonna jump out the woodwork and say, yo, I had a case against him. I told this lawyer, I told that lawyer, nobody did nothing. Now you got lawyers calling people or putting up billboards. If you got anything on Puffy, P. Diddy, Brother Love, Sean John Combs,
Hot.
Call us.
Don't touch it. Shut up.
The lawyers are looking for people right now.
He definitely made him an easier target now. Now everybody believes it and everybody's got their hands out. Right.
Right.
Well,
like nobody believed me about the shit I was saying, and now everybody got Gene Deal stories in their mouth on their programs.
Well, one of the things that was in the lawsuit was that he was hiring dudes and they were looking for dudes to hook up with Cassie.
I heard that was in the lawsuit also.
Right.
That's weird, bro. What happens is these guys open up a Pandora's box. And they look for weird, exotic things. And somehow, in some way, it turns them on. And damn, it's so crazy. They become and have a fetish on those type of things. It's weird, man. I guess when you go to certain levels and you keep going to those levels, you look for a different level, then another level, then you get addicted to see how crazy that you can get in certain situations.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like.
Self-harm watch. It's called suicidal watch. What the fuck
Diddy
is
was
they
doing
talking
this
about?
even with security or, just wildly, going after people, man.
He was doing it in front of the producers. He was doing it in front of the artists. He was doing it in front of certain people. See, Puff is like this. If he know that you commit crimes, he'll commit a crime with you or around you. But if he know you ain't going for, because there's people that was NYPD, there were people who were correction officers who worked as security for Bad Boy. And Puff would dare not do nothing around them. As well as myself. He knew the people that he could do shit around, and he kept it business around those people. But people that worked for him, that were minions and stuff like that, he didn't give a shit. But certain security wouldn't allow him to do certain things, even though they was working for Green Gate Security that was a subsidiary of Bad Boy. Those guys wasn't going to lose their pension for Puff. They would have checked him in a minute. And what people don't realize, Cam, Puff is not the same dude that he is back then that he is now. He was doing some of the same shit, but he was sneaking and doing it. He wasn't out front doing it then, and then he wasn't strung out on drugs like he was now.
So you just think it kind of just spiraled out of control as the years went on, and it just got worse and worse and worse?
I think that by him continuing using drugs and not getting help, and then getting away with shit. Check this shit out, man. He was getting away with shit that he should have been locked up for a long time ago. He goes to UCLA, take a cowbell, and beat a coach up, hitting and injuring the cowbell. They never go get him and put him in jail or charge him with nothing. Why? Why?
And I would guess because he somehow paid his way out of it.
Money and the power. So now he's thinking in his head, he can do almost anything. He goes out and threatens people in the street, dressed like the Joker and all that. He's getting away with a lot of shit. So with that and the fact that he's strung out on drugs, it can cause a person to think that they're more than what they are. Until they get locked behind those bars.
Well, you also had the whole Shine situation, which Shine just recently came out and spoke out against Diddy and said that, you know, that Diddy basically ruined his life and that Diddy sent him to prison and that Diddy called people to testify against him when he was only really just defending Diddy, and he felt like Diddy just, you know, buried him.
That's true to a certain degree. Shine has to take responsibility for what he did as an individual. Shine is the one who pulled that gun out. Shine is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility for that. He put that gun back in his waist and got caught coming out this club with it. Puff had enough security there that they were supposed to handle that. That wasn't Shine's problem. But because he was having incidents and he was having problems with Junior Mafia at the time, he had to keep a gun on him. And if Anthony Wolf Jones, who was like stopping a lot of bull crap to go down with Shine and Junior Mafia, if he pulled his gun out, Shine was going to pull his gun out too. It wasn't more so for Diddy. It was more so because Anthony Wolf Jones had made that move, but he was security. He's supposed to make that move. And because Shine and him was real close, Shine made that move too.
Yeah, that was, okay.
But Wolf did not have not one part of Puff getting those witnesses and giving them to the prosecutor. That was Puff's lawyer and Puff and certain people in security and the street team doing that. They knew they was going to testify against Shine. They got the information, gave it to their Puff lawyer and them gave them the information to get in touch with the prosecutor, and they knew exactly what they was going to tell the prosecutor, because they talked to the witness first.
Are you saying that the witness was going to come to the stand anyway, that it didn't matter if Diddy's team called him or not?
Come on, have you ever been at a party, some shooting happened, everybody go everywhere? The prosecutor don't know where they at. People of our culture don't go in and call up, hey, I was at the party, I want to come down and testify. They don't do that. Street team, people, and security knew some of the people that was there at the party. They got in touch with them. They brought them back either to the bad boy office or at Daddy's house. That's where we record at. And they told Puff what they saw. Puff gave him a call to get him information to get in contact with his lawyer. They contact the lawyer, then they contact the lawyer and them. They have the people contact them and simply go to the prosecution. And those people were basically handpicked based on the information to testify against Sean.
One of the recent stories that's been coming out about Diddy is that they've placed him on, take his own life watch. They're worried that he's going to do something to himself. And then, remember the Epstein thing, had everybody going crazy. So I'm pretty sure they don't want a repeat of that.
Especially at the same place. Is that the same place that Epstein was at? That's not a good watch to be on. Because 9 times out of 10, they put you in a padded room and you butt naked. You're in a padded room and you butt naked, practically. Are you in these kind of garments that you can't even tear? They easy to tear. They just like, you couldn't make a rope or anything to strangle yourself with it. You understand what I'm saying? So you're in a place that Daniel, you butt naked in drawers. I guess he'll feel at home because he used to walking around in his drawers. But that's not a good watch to be on, man. And then you don't have any association with nobody. Other than lunch, when they slide in your tray under your tape, under the door or through the door.
Yeah, man. I'm sure it's hitting them like a ton of bricks, especially being off of drugs now for a week now or almost a week. I'm sure it's hitting them hard. They're also saying that he's not eating because he's scared that somebody's gonna poison his food.
Nah. They probably put him in the infirmary, something like that, man. 9 times out of 10, they'll put him in the infirmary. There'll be bed rest, and they'll put an IV or something in there. I know they do that on the state level. I don't know how the feds operate in that capacity.
I mean, do you think that somebody would try to poison him when he's in jail?
No. I don't think none of that. I think it's just tactics that the lawyers trying to use in order to get him moved to a better place. And I don't know nowhere in New York State with the Fed system, because most of the time the Feds contract their stuff out to other agencies. You understand? They have stuff out at the airport where these people got these big trailers that they have prisons in, or they turn these airport hangars into correctional facilities that private industry runs. See, problem is that he got a lot of bad press behind that big stuff. He got a lot of bad press behind that Tupac, stuff. And any place he go, you're gonna find somebody who loved Tupac or loved Big. You understand? And the fact that he's been known to put his hands on women is another problem for him. So any place that they put him, it ain't the food he should be worried about.
So you think that the inmates, there's definitely a serious inmate, a lot of inmates could try to hurt him just because of the type of charges that he is locked up for.
That, and then or an inmate will be there who runs the floor, who runs the shit, put him up on his wing and say, yo, listen to me, you're gonna make sure that our commissary, my people is taken care of on the outside, and I'm gonna make sure ain't nothing gonna happen to you on the inside. It's a lot of things that's gonna play, and they may go down. But that's prison politics.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.
Jay-Z next. I want to get off camera.
The raid goes down. The media goes crazy. Diddy's looking.
Welcome to another installment of NNN, the news network where we give it to you straight with no chase. Let's get this episode rolling. Now, Alexa was caught red-handed. She trying to tell mother who to vote for. Check it out.
Why should I vote for Donald Trump? Hey Alexa, why should I not
put some of
vote
that
for Donald
ointment
Trump?
on his face?
Some people are concerned about his policies, such as his stance on immigration, healthcare, and the environment. Others are concerned about his behavior, such as his comments about women.
What's the word? What's the word?
Additionally, some people are concerned about potential conflicts and constituents.
Hey Alexa, why should I not vote for Kamala Harris?
I cannot provide content that insults another human being.
That's unbelievable.
So, Jeff Bezos, not only have you fired 100,000 employees because you got robots running your motherfucking factories now. You're quite an asshole. How you just gonna put people out on the streets and plug in robots? Yeah, you're definitely not a people person. Somebody needs to put a lawsuit against that motherfucking company for having Alexa tell us who to vote for. Biased. We'll be right back. Don't forget to hit the button, like, and subscribe. Hit, like, and subscribe.
Y'all say Jay-Z next. We ain't heard nothing about. Oh, y'all remember Jay-Z and R. Kelly made that song, Not Guilty? That was around the time Kels was fucking with Aaliyah.
This is the type of indictment you would expect from someone in the mafia.
I don't know that I can keep him off the stand. He is very eager to tell his story.
They're going to show that video over and over and over about what happens to women that won't change their stories.
His reputation is over. The United States government, they start making this case as a takedown of a successful black man.
TMZ presents The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment, now streaming on Tubi.
This must have been shocking to you that somebody comes on a show and then kind of levels these vague-ish allegations. Were you kind of ready for something like this to eventually happen?
Listen, there's rumors and then there's nonsense, and this is one step further, right? This is a pointed and formal accusation of something, and I felt it needed to be responded to. So I think somebody reported it was a cease and desist. It wasn't that. It was quite bluntly an ultimatum, which is remove that false accusation that's demonstrably false, or a court's going to order you to. And so I think he made the wise choice and acted accordingly.
He meaning Piers Morgan.
removing it and apologizing for it, yes. What changed here in my mind is that somebody on a so-called journalistic platform exploited that kind of random rumor mill, whether it's disconnected from reality or what have you, and lifted it up. And by doing that, you know, they not only caused harm here, but they are also droning out the voices of real victims. And by doing that to get clicks, it didn't just harm the Carters. What he did effectively was to drone out the voices of actual victims in an ongoing case, in an ongoing investigation, and that was too much for him.
Are you in the process of making sure that it is taken down everywhere?
What I am here to say is that in a situation as serious as this, somebody who puts themselves out as a journalist should not effectively take advantage of the situation and exploit somebody in this way. And so that's the real reason for action.
Does it strike you a little bit that there's been a lot of silence in Hollywood in the wake of all of this?
Well, as to the Carters, you know, I can tell you that when they put their foot down on something as they did here, you know, they are sending a message. And if they can't stand up and make sure right from wrong, then who can? I've always believed that the truth will come out in courtrooms, and I'm sure the truth will come out here.
So why exactly did Beyonce and Jay-Z finally respond to Jaguar Wright? Well, technically, they responded to Piers Morgan's show, Piers Morgan Uncensored. And why did Piers Morgan comply? We're going to explain that and so much more in the recent update in regards to Beyonce and Jay-Z threatening legal action in regards to the Jaguar Wright interview on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Welcome back to the Empire Channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification. So why exactly did Beyonce and Jay-Z finally respond to Jaguar Wright? Well, technically, they responded to Piers Morgan's show, Piers Morgan Uncensored. And why did...
I think it's time for us to address the elephant in the room.
R. Kelly was the first corporately sponsored pedophile. Everybody knew.
Once it came out on R. Kelly, Jay-Z fled the scene.
Point was, he knew all the time.
For 20 years, Jay-Z refused to speak out against R. Kelly, but his former partner, Dame Dash, won't stay silent.
Aaliyah is key to everything. Aaliyah and I were very serious. We talked about getting married, so I knew exactly what went on.
She was like, no, that's a bad man.
R. Kelly did indeed marry his protege, the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah Houghton.
Like, Aaliyah was like the sacrificial lamb for all that.
22-year-old rising star Aaliyah has been killed in a horrific plane crash.
It's a pain that you couldn't understand.
It changed you, turned you into a monster. When Dame was at his lowest, Jay committed the ultimate betrayal.
I had so much trust in my brother, but he did things that I thought he would never do. So what you think I felt all these years?
For 20 years, R. Kelly's power protected him.
At that time, we did not look hard enough.
Remember Aaliyah's album cover? Age ain't nothing but a number. Sitting back there like Perv Master.
I mean, I was mad. You know, I ain't have nothing to do with that.
They made a song together called Not Guilty. Anybody that knows what happened to my girl that with me should not be alone. Period.
Tell me about the relationship with Jay-Z. You and Jay-Z formed Rockefeller Records in the 90s. Are you and Jay-Z still friends?
Well, but there's been things where he's been in business with people that are against my honor code. So because of that, I kind of have to keep a distance.
As you hear all this other stuff in the news with R. Kelly, how does that make you feel about him?
I was just shocked at how long he got away with it. How many people turned and looked the other way. How many people were still, involved with him in any kind of way, knowing all those things.
Before R. Kelly, Dame and Jay were inseparable as they built an empire together.
You've been with Jay-Z since the beginning, right? So, I mean, yeah, about 10, 15 years.
Jay-Z and Dame came from street money to starting a label that nobody wanted to sign Jay-Z, so they created their own and turned around and got him famous to where he got a deal. They got a deal at Def Jam.
You know, we all know we're a family at Rockefeller. Jay's my best friend. I'm not ashamed to say it. And we all know this, we're close, and that's one of the reasons why we're so tight as a family.
Dame always fought for Jay, even when no one else would.
I took it more personal than business because I was fighting for my friends and my brothers as opposed to people I didn't know.
This is the man that came in the corporate offices, and when they was robbing us, he made sure we got what we were supposed to get.
And we built this from nothing. Nothing. So there's nothing that we can't see our way through.
But when Dame met Aaliyah, everything changed.
She was one of those people that if she did something first, everyone followed suit.
He getting mad at R. Kelly, and he was too old too. That's crazy.
Matrix 2 and the Matrix 3.
I feel so blessed because everything that I've always wanted is happening to me, and I just feel like I have so many places to go and so many things to enjoy.
But I've never seen anyone that was going to affect the world like she did, despite the fact that she went through a lot of bull. Still very innocent and not jaded.
Aaliyah could see a different side of Dame, but as they got closer, there was one thing in their way.
Our intention at first wasn't even to be in love. We were just really good friends, and we fell for real. It was almost an accident. My friend Tiny brought me to this photo shoot in LA, and it was called like the It Girls. And we were talking about things about your soul and the evolution of your soul, and that was where our connection came. We developed a real friendship, but it was always apprehension because other people were trying to get at her. And then, you know, I guess Jay was trying to get at her as well, and I didn't know. He was sending flowers, and he was courting her.
Because the rumor originally was that you were connected to Jay.
Exactly. Jay and I were hanging out a lot. He's my homie. We have a lot of fun together, but we shouldn't have dated like that.
I'm a lady.
So you have a boyfriend in your life?
It's personal. That's the personal life. I don't really discuss it. It's hard when you're in this business. You become a public figure. You know what I mean? And everything you do belongs to the public, and that's fine. But there's parts that you want to keep for you.
Dame knew how important Aaliyah's privacy was because she'd been under attack for her last relationship 5 years earlier.
Hip-hop star R. Kelly did indeed marry his protege, the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah.
That was a headline. That was something talked about like it was normal. Did y'all ever talk about it? We talked about it up to the point where it hurt.
As Aaliyah opened up to Dame, he learned just how dark the relationship with R. Kelly had been.
We were out on the road with Aaliyah. On a tour bus, there really aren't any confined spaces. So it just so happened we were all laying in our bunks when the door flew open on the bus.
What did you see?
Things that an adult should not be doing with a child.
Dame would do anything to protect Aaliyah, but his partnership with Jay put him in a difficult position.
You ever have beef with R. Kelly while he was with Aaliyah? She just wanted to be left alone. So that's the thing that people would be like when Jay was doing videos with him. I was be in the video, but I'd be like, yo, what do you want me to do? And she'd like, don't start nothing, just don't be in no shots with him. And she didn't want to deal with the bullshit. Like the things that had happened in the past, she told me leave it alone. I would have to respect her wish no matter what. And her wish was, leave it alone, let me heal, let me rest, I'm in love, let's just enjoy this.
As their relationship grew, everyone around them could see how much Dame and Aaliyah meant to each other.
You know, the thing was, she was gone a lot, so the time that we had together, it was like we appreciated it.
They were in heaven. Nothing from the outside really got in their way. And she was so happy. She was so happy.
It was like the first kind of time that she had found this kind of peace and happiness, and the same thing for me. I didn't know what being in love was. I didn't even understand what that feeling is. And I was able to really achieve that with her, so now I know what it feels like.
So you were in love with her?
Yeah.
Completely. What was your last conversation with her?
I didn't want her to do the video.
Which video?
She was shooting a video in Miami. And I had my son and my nephews with me. And, you know, she was very supportive. So I was like, all right, I'm going to come down here. I'll bring the kids, make a vacation, work, the whole night. Remember, she used to babysit you?
Yeah, he's had a lot of fun with Aaliyah.
But when Aaliyah told Dame that she had to fly to the Bahamas to finish the video, he was desperate for her to stay.
I told her I didn't want her to go, and that's kind of because that was one of the reasons why she was in such a rush to get back. And even when she got on the plane, she didn't like the plane. So like one of her last texts was, "I don't like the plane," and I literally was like, "Don't get on it." I literally was like, "Don't get on it." And if I'd have been an asshole that day and really stood behind what I believed in, she wouldn't have got on that plane.
Hollywood lost a rising star with the death of 22-year-old R&B star Aaliyah.
Tell me about that day. Where were you?
I was getting my hair cut, and I was waiting for her. She was trying to get back really quickly because we were trying to see each other.
The small twin-engine Cessna erupted into a fiery nosedive just minutes after leaving the Bahamas, where Aaliyah was shooting an upcoming music video.
Mother called.
That plane looked like it was gonna fuck up. No bullshit.
She had a 15-minute before they said there was a plane crash. Lee was in it, and once I heard it, it was true.
Cousins and I all heard it, and there was like 10 of us. We was all crying down the line.
Hey,
I saw my dad. He was just
calm down.
I actually never saw him that low. I feel like emotionally he had hit rock bottom. It was probably like one of the worst days we ever had.
You also said that her death, it changed you, turned you into a monster.
Yeah. It made me feel this. Because I know what real pain feels like, and I've dealt with it. Can't be nothing worse than that.
We actually have video at her funeral where you're very emotional. Remember that day?
I don't revisit it often because it hurts. But a lot was going on in that moment. I mean, I still had to get myself together and fight because there were things that were going on.
Dame barely had time to grieve when just 5 months after Aaliyah's death, Jay-Z did the unthinkable.
Just the idea of having a whole album with myself and R. Kelly was just an amazing prospect. Best of both world tours coming to city near you. Best of both worlds, t-shirts, gloves, condoms, everything.
How do you deal with that when someone you respect does that you don't deal with at all? You gotta remember, once I knew Aaliyah, I knew everything. So yeah, if me and you cool, and you know that I got a girl that your man, and I tell you, you like, you gonna still work with him, what you gonna feel? So what you think I feel?
Even as new allegations came out, Jay looked the other way.
Kelly is accused of videotaping himself having sex with an underage girl. Prosecutors maintain the girl in the video was as young as 13 when it was made.
I mean, I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that. I know I ain't have nothing to do with that.
That's crazy. Your partner. No, it's not. Yo, he's not my partner. Look how my partner played me. You calling him my partner? Publicly, that man did a record with that my girl and then went on a tour with him. But I had to look the other way. And because my girl said leave it alone, I left it alone.
You left it alone.
Dame couldn't break his promise to Aaliyah, but his anger was spiraling out of control.
Rumors of the growing rift between Jay-Z and Dame Dash. The Rockefeller CEO was caught crashing a marketing meeting at parent company Def Jam, accusing executives of trying to cut him out.
This is treachery. I'm telling you, I'm sick of this. I seen all of y'all yesterday. Why nobody told me about a marketing plan about Jay-Z? How do y'all call a meeting about Jay-Z without Rockefeller? There ain't even nobody from Rockefeller in here. What the f*** you mean you're gonna reschedule? What you mean you're gonna reschedule? You get the f*** out. You're not a leader. You don't know shit about my culture. You don't know shit about Jay.
Dame was struggling to hold on to the one thing he had left, so he didn't see what was coming.
They don't give a f***. That's all they do is exploit. So they trying to take our franchise from us.
You know about the Scarface party and all that? No. Jay's performing for that? Yeah, he's performing for it. So,
Jay-Z is moving on from Rockefeller Records and former partner Dame Dash as he steps into his new role as president and CEO of Def Jam.
It's not a beef, it's just growing. And sometimes growing means growing apart. It's part of life, it's part of growing up.
Do you know what's crazy about that meeting? In my heart, I had no idea that Jay said that meeting, but he said that meeting.
As Jay-Z left Dame behind, people couldn't understand why Dame was stuck in the past.
Dame is abrasive. Dame burned a lot of bridges.
I burned bridges so I don't have to go back.
I think that Dame is bitter now because Jay-Z is a fully megastar brand, married to Beyonce. Aaliyah is gone.
Will you please let Aaliyah rest? Will you let her
Will you let her down?
Even as Dame tried to move on, he couldn't let go of his pain over Aaliyah.
Everything that scared me is losing people I love, and everyone that I really love, I've lost. So what it's made me be the animal that I am is that I don't want to sit down and think about the things that are hurting me.
Your secrets are about things you don't express to people. When it comes to feelings, you don't get to go around the feelings. You have to go through them.
When the supposed documentary exposed R. Kelly, Dame came face to face with the pain he'd been holding back.
Allegations made by more than a dozen women in the surviving R. Kelly docuseries accusing the singer of holding them captive, brainwashing them. Prosecutors say 3 of his alleged victims were minors.
And I think I can't really talk about being abused. It's like brings back memories, and it's very painful to have to talk about it again.
I wish that Aaliyah's family would speak, because I think there are so many young black girls who've been hurt. But what it would mean to know that Aaliyah was hurt that way too.
I can't stress to you enough how people are still suffering behind things that went on 20 years ago.
Power on. You know, I watched some of it yesterday, as much as I could tolerate. There was a girl, and when she was even trying to talk about it, she couldn't. Yeah. And I remember Aaliyah trying to talk about it, and she couldn't.
Executive producer of Surviving R. Kelly, Dream Hampton, says the music industry is still protecting the R&B star. It was incredibly difficult to get people who had collaborated with Kelly to come forward. We asked Lady Gaga, we asked Celine Dion, we asked Jay-Z.
Everyone keeps looking the other way. Period. Everyone has all these moral defensive movements, and it behooves them, they look the other way, and I'm not cool with that. The test of honor isn't convenient. Honor is when it's inconvenient.
And this time, Dame had to face his pain so he could do what was right.
It's time for us to take responsibility for empowering and looking the other way all those years.
Aaliyah's former boyfriend, Dylan Dash, was one of the first celebrities to publicly speak out against R. Kelly.
If, like, people would have protected Aaliyah, so many other girls wouldn't have got touched. Like, Aaliyah was like the sacrificial lamb for all that, because she didn't deserve none of that. So this energy is an anger, this is energy for change. I want to change the way we look at rehabilitation from trauma, which is a prison. I want to change the way we heal.
After 20 years, Dame's fight for Aaliyah finally got justice.
Singer R. Kelly sentenced to 30 years behind bars after his conviction on racketeering and sex trafficking charges.
This is a significant outcome for all victims of R. Kelly, and especially for the survivors.
By remembering Aaliyah's lessons, Dame built the legacy that mattered most to him.
What do you want to be remembered as, man? As a warrior. I fight for what I love.
Dame Dash is launching his own streaming platform focused on health and healing. And the entrepreneur is also expecting a new baby with fiancé Raquel Horn.
I saw all the things I was missing, so, you know, what do you think I'd rather do? Be on a yacht pouring champagne or a girl, or taking my daughter to get a cupcake? It's nothing better than taking your daughter to get a cupcake. You know, there's nothing better than watching your baby smile.
With his family by his side, Dame honors Aaliyah's memory every day.
There hasn't been one day since she's passed, not one. It's been 20 years that I haven't either heard her name, heard a record, or seen a picture of her. Every single day she's present in my life, and I feel lucky for that.
Every year the legend grows, and you are part of that legend. What do you think that people should remember about her?
She was the coolest. She still is. She's magic. I never thought I'd see that magic again.
While everyone wondered who killed Tupac, Snoop blamed the man that was driving the car he got shot in that night.
The most feared figure in all of hip-hop.
You put all of our lives in jeopardy like that, you don't care about Pop.
And confronted him face to face.
Come up to my room, there ain't gonna be nobody in there.
Just me and you. This either the moment you gonna kill me, or we gonna get some clarity in this air.
But did Snoop Dogg know something was going to happen that night?
The next day, when we turned on the news, all we
Wow.
saw was yellow tape. It just was all bad.
Shakur was shot 4 times after leaving the Mike Tyson boxing match in Las Vegas in a car driven by Marion Suge Knight, head of his label, Death Row Records.
So I jumped in my Hummer and we drove to Vegas. Suge was at home. He was standing up. We had like a patch on. His head was wrapped up. And he came and explained to us as far as what had happened. And he was explaining to us like joyful. He was like, man, when they started shooting at us, trying to jump in the backseat. I'm like, get down. I pull him down and he was saying like Pop was gonna live, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that must have been the spirit that Pop showed him. Like even when he said he was driving to the hospital. So I jumped right on the highway to see him. I had a chance to sit there with him. At that time, me and him really wasn't.
So Diddy, they said you was responsible for this shit too.
He was my friend before Death Row. When I met at the Poetic Justice rap party. So I get to the party, the DJ puts something on. He like, yeah, I got my little cousin Snoop Dogg in the house. We'll come up here and rap. Before he give me the mic, Tupac grabbed the mic. He'd say his little part, you got the mic. He take it back. We like rapping at each other. Like sort of kind of aggressive. We do like 4 or 5 raps. Everybody in the party like it just made a circle now. Finish rapping, we go outside. I'm like, let me get your number, cuz I'm gonna holler at you. And fell in love with that. I was like, cuz this hard. So I suggested to Suge that, man, we need to put cuz with us because he already get down like we get down. He needs a team, you know. We're the best team out here, and we need him because he's going to make our team better. Like, we're great, but with him, we'll be the great.
Were you guys intimidated at all to work going to the studio together?
Yeah, we bring the best out of me. You know what I'm saying? Snoop took the time, he ran with it. When Tupac got the time, he took Death Row to the next level.
Next year, Death Row gonna start putting out all the money.
But Snoop Dogg started to notice Suge Knight's growing influence on Tupac.
I think Suge steered him where he wanted to be. Pac wanted that. He wanted the glamorous gangster mafia lifestyle. He wanted it. And Suge gave it to him. Suge was great at giving you what you wanted. If he loved you, boy, he loved you. Death Row was a Death Row family. But if he hated you, he hated you.
Controversial CEO of Death Row Records.
The most feared figure in all of hip-hop.
Vicious assaults, beatings, pistol whipping.
If it wasn't for him, I don't know what I would have done. This guy was going to go to jail for 25 years of life. I wasn't late to put up almost $5 million for attorney fees. Stab 50, 60 guys, escort them in the foot before they want to get beat up. He was the fixer, the cleaner. Yeah. Something's wrong, he knows what to do. I look at it like if I'm with you, I'm with you. We're on the same team, I'm going to do what I can do to always help.
But Snoop Dogg was worried about the kind of help Tupac wanted from Suge.
Pac had the spirit of animosity, revenge, retaliation.
Shakur has accused rappers Puff Daddy and Notorious B.I.G. of involvement in his New York shooting.
Pac was like, look, I go to New York, I go to the studio. These tell me every shot me. Period. I'm like, you with us. Shit, your friends is my friends. Your enemies is my enemies.
And I never felt like they had something to do with it because it just didn't feel right. They was his friends at the time.
You shot me 5 times. I came out of jail and sold $5 million. The can't with us. That's how we do it. You know the players is on the west side. That piece. I ain't even trying to make peace. Come on.
If somebody was going to mess with Pac, I'm going to be right by his side. They created a war.
They were fueling each other's fire. Like they was tit for tat. Like nobody would put water.
And things escalated beyond just Tupac and Biggie.
When you see a Vibe magazine, when you see Puff and Biggie on the cover and see East vs. West, niggas in the hood don't read articles. They just see East vs. West. Oh, it's on. It's on. And I see them it's on. They were checking to see who could win in a physical confrontation, whose camps could win if the two met up with one another.
We got strength in numbers. We already run the streets out here. So all these suckers, they battling off of East and West like this is a game. This ain't no game. If this was chess, we'd be yelling checkmate 3 years ago because we've been beat these. It's not a game.
These days, it doesn't take much to start a gang war.
What started out as music to inform has turned into music that incites.
Gang violence in Los Angeles, and 3 people are dead. The shootings were part of warfare.
The East and West thing is not a Snoop Dogg problem. If it's personal, it needs to stay personal. And y'all need to deal with it and handle it if it's a problem. And handle it and keep it out of our faces. I've been dealing with this my whole life. They don't play with shit like this.
Rapper Tupac Shakur put out a diss track insinuating he slept with Biggie's wife, fanning more flames to the East vs. West war.
When he played it for me, I was like, cuz I ain't really feeling that, cuz you thought he took it too far.
We want to make sure we mash their ass like we did Biggie. You see that nigga quiet as a church mouse?
You buying more problems, cuz.
There is no mercy, mama. If you're gonna act like you a gangster or a G or the king of New York, I'm expect that. And when you don't come through, then I'm gonna crush your empire. And that's what it's time for.
And just a few days later, what Snoop Dogg feared became a reality.
Tupac Shakur has been taken to a hospital where he remains in critical condition. He is being surrounded by friends and family, hoping for a recovery.
When I went to go see him, that ain't what I got. He wasn't moving, he wasn't talking, he wasn't breathing on his own. His mama, she pulled me to the side, and that's when I knew it was bad. She told me to be strong and all this shit. He laid up. I just get right on the side of his head and just start talking to him in his ear. Just talking to him. It was some other shit, cuz. Then as soon as I walked out of there, I went in the bathroom and I threw up.
Did you know at that moment or early on that Pac wasn't gonna make it?
No. That's Superman, cuz I thought he was coming out of that.
You seen it before.
We watched him do it before. So I was like, he'll be alright, he gonna come out of it, man. That broke my heart. I mean, we all felt like that, you know, because we were death row, and that's the life we was living. We felt like we was untouchable until that fatal day.
While Snoop Dogg was grieving, Suge Knight was sent to prison for violating his parole on the night of the shooting. But that didn't stop Suge from wanting revenge.
When Tupac got shot, my main concern was keeping the family together. It's no time to be weak. There's no time to feel bad or sorry for nobody except. If there's something needs to be done, something needs to be done.
In Compton, California, gang war and 5-day bloodbath apparently left 3 men dead and 10 wounded.
Some of our shootings may be in retaliation for the events that happened in Las Vegas.
Police say they've had 12 shootings and an increase of violence in Compton since September 7th.
And we was right in the middle of all of that madness and the deaths and the tragedy. He didn't realize how much influence he had, but he was very influenced.
Snoop believed Suge had something to do with Tupac's death.
It was a dark alley. He led us. When you put all of our lives in jeopardy like that, you don't care. And that's what happened. Our lives was in jeopardy. I started to see that Death Row wasn't for me. I'm here to make good music. That's what I signed my contract with Death Row Records for. To make good music and perform and put out good albums. I didn't sign a contract to hurt nobody or make people hate me or hate people. I've been there. I've done that. So I'm going to go this route. You know what I'm saying?
After years of being at Death Row Records, Snoop Dogg has decided to jump ship to the No Limit Soldiers record label, leaving unwanted problems behind.
This did not sit well with Suge because Snoop would not take his side and Suge demanded loyalty.
Either motherfuckers ride with us or they ride against us. Ain't no in between. If you with us or against us. Those who's not with us, nothing. It began to turn on me after that. Like, it was animosity. They was bitter. You lose your biggest star. Then I started hearing, they gonna f you up. They gonna cut your head. They gonna do this. And then he had Crips working for him that was gonna do something to me.
If it wasn't for Suge Knight, he would still be in somebody's cell making dinner. Wash your clothes.
Suge Knight recently said he used to be a superstar and now he's just a no-limit soldier. What do you say to that?
Nothing. He used to be a CEO, now he's just a inmate.
Thanks a lot.
While Snoop thought he was now safe, Suge was about to show that he could still get to him.
We got the Universal. I was with No Limit. Okay, we was at the show. But we sitting in the inside. Death Row guys walk up. He come in peace, smiling, shaking my hand, walked me in the corner, talking to me. Now the other one was surrounded. 5 minutes later, it starts 7 around me. I ain't paying attention. So the soldiers then went on stage. Now I'm back here talking to these Death Row niggas by myself. So now they be like, you owe Suge apology. I'm like, Suge. Like, what? Trying to take off on him. Whoop, you miss. I get out of there.
And Snoop just was flying by.
Master P and him get the word while they on stage. They really ran off stage in the middle of the front.
Boom, 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 and everybody was like running out the gates. And we run out. Now a riot is happening.
I get a whiz, no cuts, no scars, no hits, no nothing. But I run right into the law. The weed in my pocket and everything. But I'm trying to save my life.
As soon as we come out the door, we got officers throwing punks in our faces and helicopters on the ground.
They didn't know what Snoop was. They're screaming,
where's Snoop? Snoop all right.
Snoop Dogg managed to escape Suge's attack, but he started to become reckless.
I was gonna make a record dissing Death Row, like Death Row. Because I just didn't give a at the time. They was coming after me, I was gonna come after them. Suge Knight's a bitch and that's on my life. I will end your if you keep talking on crap.
This was Suge's message to Snoop.
Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight celebrating his newfound freedom after serving 5 years for a probation violation.
Damn, you still ain't nothing changed.
Death Row's back. Back on the streets, back on the clubs.
We're out of jail. We're on parole. Is LA divided now between where Suge goes and where Snoop goes?
Yes. Suge goes everywhere in LA. Snoop goes nowhere in LA. He can't go nowhere without 20 people holding his hand. I look at it in a way where I respect you, you can respect me. If you can't respect me, I'm gonna teach you how to respect me.
Now that Suge was out, Snoop was constantly looking over his shoulder. But something was about to make things worse.
I just got off stage and I was going to go back to the house. I pull up about a block and a half before I know it. 100 police pull up on me. They all joined down with real guns. And they not playing. So they finally come over, pull me out the car, start talking to me. And they're like, well, do I know this particular guy? I'm like, nah. And they start saying, well, he knows you. And he says that he sold you this gun, that gun, that gun, and that gun. You can play dumb all you want. We have your wife and kids under arrest, and we finna run through your whole house. So either you're gonna tell us where the guns are, or we're gonna put your family through hell. And I had to think. My daughter was in the house. My son was in the house. Do I really want them to go through this bullshit that I'm trained for, that just doesn't bother me? They've never seen this. So I said, you know what? If I give you a couple of guns, will you leave my house and let my wife and kids go? So I told him I have a gun here, one here, and one there. And that's the only guns I got in my house. Put the call in, let my wife and them go. And then I had to take this probation that made me fire every security that I had around. Because everyone who had a criminal record couldn't be around the violation. So I had to fire all my security. I had no guns in my life, and wanted to kill me. So imagine that.
Snoop Dogg was again facing death, But this time, he was at his most vulnerable. He now had to take a long look at how things got to this.
It broke me, man. It broke my spirit. When my murder case, Tupac get killed, Death Row want to kill me. That's all I'm crazy. I don't really understand death. I never did. And even as a kid, my homies started dying in gangbang. All the time. I went to school with, play football with. It's like you don't become numb to it, but it's like it's the feeling of, okay, all right, I guess it's what it's supposed to be. And I look back at all of the rappers that was writing about death. They're all dead. Our pen is what we was writing. I hope I live to see 21 and blah, blah, this and that. And I know I ain't gonna make it. And death around the corner and I'm ready to die. That's the era we come from. To prepare ourselves for death. And it just made me feel like my pen created this. I got a baby. I got a wife. What's to live for? I wanted to live.
Snoop Dogg knew he had to face Suge Knight one last time.
I seen him in Vegas. I was, moving around doing my thing. And, I'm like, turn around. And my security, he immediately on it. Boom. Suge like, doggy dog. Man, tell this nigga I ain't tripping, man. Tell this nigga to kick back. I said, all right, nigga, check it out. You know where I'm at. He said, nigga, let me come holler at you. So let me finish this real quick.
What was the temperature at that point between the relationship?
Hot.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Hot. Like, I had that wanted to write. They seen him before I did.
Right.
I had to tell them. Let me holler.
Right.
So this is what I do. I say, I'm gonna have my folks come down there and tell you what room. And then when you come up to my room, there ain't gonna be nobody in there. Just me and you. About 45 minutes, I send my down. Go get cuz and tell me to come up. I said, matter of fact, don't even come up with it. I want you to feel comfortable. Matter of fact, give me a room. Come on in. The whole conversation is, nigga, I loved you, nigga. I could have saved you. I had nothing but love. And his conversation was, I love you. I ain't got nothing but love for you. Why did you try to give me bop when you love me? There's no outside that wants your head right now. You know what? I forgive you. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. You gonna go and walk up out here and we gonna be cool from this day forward. And we been straight. I wasn't ready to go to war. And I was like, I gotta defend my pride, but my pride would have got me killed. Sometimes you gotta be smarter than the average bear. You gotta know and understand why you're here. And looking at my family and where I wanna be, and how I gotta prepare myself in order to be here. And that's what forced me to find a new path. I started writing life. So my pen became more, I'm gonna live my life. Let me have fun. Let me live a little bit. And I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. And then my life became that as well. I made it out barely. So I won't give my kids a better chance to make it out by putting them in an environment where they have less to deal with. They have no gang activity. They're not worrying about getting shot at, looking over their shoulders, this and that. Now, when I was younger, I had no respect. I just did whatever I wanted to do. But as I become a grown man, it's my job to do what's right. You have to start doing some things that matter for the future. I just feel like out of that tree, something had to fall. It's always a great family portrait in the beginning, and by the end, there's 2 or 3 key people in that family picture that's gone. But then there's something that's still there, and they keeping the legacy going on. and just survive. Just being able to be peaceful and be smart enough to say that. I'm gonna leave that behind. I'm just gonna smile a little bit, be me. To make people happy, to inspire, to influence. And me personally, I love the fact that people love me and follow me. I want to be loved while I'm here. And the only way to get love is to give love.
There y'all go, man. Another great show. I appreciate y'all tuning in, watching. Hope y'all have a blessed day. Remember, keep your eyes open and trust none. Subscribe to the page if you haven't subscribed. Hit the like button, share the video.
The Diddy did with the other chick, whatever her name is, the Diddy, people know she's mentally dealing with something. She still is mourning the death of her son. So, man, that turns smart, intellectual people off. So you get the kids just clapping for you.
That's so that wasn't nobody talking about it. Ooh, I guess you were wrong, you little one-eyed freak. Also a government informant. Trying to line up real life so you can move me out of the way so they can stop spreading the truth. I'm sick and tired of these, and I say them, calling me a liar. sexually abuse Boosie with Short BB and loving it.
Why you think Boosie is defending Diddy?
Because he has no choice. What choice does he have? That's no different than Charleston White.
While everyone wondered who killed him,
act with some shit like that, you know, playing with the guns and stuff. But it's people that live in houses seeing this shit. To the point where people start moving their arms like him. I get it. You know, when he passed away, they made a mural right there across the street from O Block. They put a mural of him right there. You know, a lot of people go there taking pictures. A lot of people go there, you know, showing they respect the King Vine. Recently, it's a video going viral of 4 guys in front of the mural. They standing in front of the mural. They taking pictures with a blick. You know, taking pictures with a gun. I don't know if they know, but those cameras, those police cameras work. A police dispatcher sued them playing with guns in front of this mural. You know, they taking pictures trying to be cool. When you're in front of the mural, you got to take pictures like this. So a police camera caught him.
332, I got you going. And 302 Sam, you said he has a gun as well, the other male black jacket, blue jeans?
Well, he had 2 guns now. Another male, one multicolored jacket. Yes, and another one. Rubber hoodie.
The one with the multicolored hoodie, he has what?
He has another gun on him. So it's like at least 3 guns out there.
Okay, so you got another male black jacket, blue jeans, and then another male with a multicolored hoodie as well. He has a gun as well. So it's 3 guns out there, guys. 312 and 332.
One more. 302 Sam. The 4 guys are passing the guns back and forth. There's at least 3. They need to stop all 4 guys.
Alright, 332 Sam. 322, can you start heading over there as well? If anyone is not on these streams, 371, start heading over there. 6431 South King, around that area. 4 people that's passing a gun. 322, I see you over there. It's 4 males in total supposedly passing the guns over there in Parkway.
321, put out a box. 321,
Alright, 10-4, I got you guys on the way. 322 and 332 is over there, so you guys got the air right now. If you're not on anything, just start heading over there, but 322 and 332 got the air. But 302 Cam, you see anything else? Yeah, do you see anything else?
Yeah, 22 detained 1, but they're in the army going well. I can't see that movie.
Alright,
Yeah, we
322 guys.
We cover right now. We in front of our
They was arrested. Yo, hit the like button. Go on this video 1,000 likes. I think people need to learn about this because people see those cameras on those poles riding right past and don't understand those cameras work and people are watching those cameras. It's a person getting paid to stare at their camera 24 hours. I don't know if people understand that. These guys are taking pictures, holding the blick, you know, and this camera is just watching them. You know, that's a hot spot in Chicago. So, of course, out of all the cameras, they're going to be watching that spot. You know, these guys are taking pictures, passing the guns around, you know, posing in front of this thing like, goddamn it, playing with guns is legal. We didn't got to the point now. People are pulling guns out, holding them backwards and shit like that. you know, playing with the guns and stuff. But it's people that live in houses seeing this shit. You know, as crazy as that sounds. These guys playing with a gun, police came, you know, and they went to jail, caught a gun case. They was arrested. You know, that's crazy too, man, because it just shows you how, you know, people love taking pictures, putting that shit on the internet and playing with them guns, playing with them blicks. This stuff done got crazy. You know, King Von left a strong impact in the city of Chicago to the point where they got a moral right there. You know, King Von has been, you know, charged with murder cases. Even been charged with cases. There's people that link his name and stuff. The Chicago Sun-Times reported that he had money on Doug Head, and they got a moral of him in the neighborhood. You know, people love King Von, they love that moral, but there's some people who see that moral and don't like that because they feel like Von did stuff to their family, their neighborhoods and stuff. You know, but in the Chicago, the young people love some King Von. That's why everybody move their arm like this when they rap. And stuff like that, like real talk. And it got crazy. Y'all check that video out. Let me know what y'all think about this. Leave a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. But it was 4 guys in front of that mural. You know, just having fun, living life, pulling out guns, taking pictures, thinking this stuff cool, not knowing that somebody done called the police on them. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's time.
DJ, you go crazy. DJ UTV, let them know who we got in the building.
650 Lil Mike, y'all know I'm back, man. You know that.
650 Lil Mike, what you on, gang?
How you coming, blood?
Well, welcome to DJ UTV, or welcome back.
I was gonna say, you know that.
Welcome back to DJ UTV.
Hey, look, last time I was telling what I tell you. Remember what I told you? I'm gonna get them stonies on the couch.
You did tell me that.
Yeah, now them stonies on the couch. Yeah.
You did tell me that.
Real stonies.
We had you here earlier this year.
Yeah.
With 800 TJ, RIP.
Yeah.
I definitely want to send my condolences to 800 TJ family, and especially his baby mom, because I know they expecting a son right now.
Yeah, that's my shorty on phone. Yeah, that's my shorty.
And we'll talk about TJ later on in the interview, but Lil Mike, man, last time I checked, they was saying you was dead.
Yeah, I know. A lot of thought that.
That's crazy, right?
You know that, and I'm sitting on the couch.
Man, I was feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, damn, like, you know, out of all that done happened this past summer in Chicago, like by the time the news came with Joe's situation, I was like tired, bro. Damn.
Tired. It's gonna kill, huh?
I was tired of saying RIP, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On some shit like, you know? So, I'm glad you survived. I'm glad you're here to talk to us. You know what I'm saying? God is good.
Yes, sir. Good luck, bro.
So let's take it from the top. Tell us what, look, I got confused. Sometimes you say 6'5", Lil Mike. Other times you say 650.
Yeah, it's 650, man. 6'5", just is off the top. You know that.
Okay.
You know, it's 65 to start. Yeah, everybody know what I'm talking about.
So, yeah, that's where you from?
Yeah, you know that. That's my hood. Born and raised.
Okay. That's the east side of Chicago, right?
You know that. Over here, deep in, Stony gang.
All right. So tell us what it was like for you growing up over the east.
It's a regular bad shit. You know, this shit ain't nothing. This shit, we all grew up doing the same shit, man. I was a little dance with my